What's up? Tuesday. Let me get rid of this here. Oh, this is up too. Tuesday. What's up, everybody? I want to go ahead and let me turn that down a little bit. Before I say hey to everybody, I'm going to go ahead. I threw up the notification a few before the show. So this Friday, starting this Friday and every Friday early afternoon around 2 o'clock Central, I'm going to be starting my new series just on Fridays. Early afternoon Fridays. We still have the hangouts on Friday nights. But early afternoon on Fridays, start the new series Unexplored, Lost, and Unsolved. And this is going to be the first case that I cover. Lauren Ashley Wilhoit. And I'm going to be having a special guest, be having Lauren's sister Michelle on for that show. And also, I'm going to be co-hosted by Cassie. So Cassie will be joining me Friday, and she will be up on panel with me when we're going to explore this case. And so if anybody doesn't have anything going on around 2 o'clock Central on Friday, please swing by. Also, if you have any loved ones or family or friends or anybody that you would like to be a part of this series, I'm sure you have some, Chris. Reach out to me, and we'll go ahead and get something scheduled. Like I said, it's only going to be early afternoon Fridays when I cover these. Maybe we could do like some kind of Saturday or Sunday, if the family would need that in order to make it work for anybody's schedule. But I'm gonna, for the most part, I'll have those Friday early afternoons. So every Friday early afternoon, we'll be going over a case that doesn't get the national attention. So this will be the new series starting off this Friday. I just put the notification out there before the show. Got that all set up. Went ahead and had some conversations last night. We're going to have some more conversations tomorrow night. And then after that, everything will be ready and good to go for Friday. So please, if you're bored or you ain't got nothing to do or you feel like hanging out and supporting, please show up on Friday. I know it'd mean a lot to me. It'd mean a lot to the family. And who knows? Who knows what can happen? And I want to say thank you to Cassie as well. She's going to be taking the time out of her day on Friday to join me. It's actually a friend of hers. And so this is kind of a special case for her as well. So I'm excited to have her on up there with me. And I'm excited to get this new series started off. So what's up, everybody? We had the Beatles' Free as a Bird first. The last song was I Alone from Live. And this is Lit, My Own Worst Enemy. Just to let everybody know that, because I see people typing in there. I'm going to get to what's up. Wow, third again. I don't see who was first or second. So, okay. Okay, so when I switch it to sub only for 5-minute sub chat, is that when it resets the message then? Because I had to do that shortly after I got home. So I don't know. Maybe that's what resets the message. I'm not sure. I don't see first and second. What's up, SRB? What's up, Butterfly? I see Hello Kib Kitty and Truthful Soul, but okay, they must have been 1 and 2. What's up, Kelp? I want to thank you all for your links and your articles and your information. At first, we were going to have a kind of like a half and half show. where we half cover the Oklahoma tragedy, and then we half cover some of the conversations that we would be continuing from last night. But I got so much links and articles and information and everything. I just went ahead and switched it to its own show before we started. If we do have some time, maybe we can go into it a little bit. I don't know. I have a feeling that we're going to be talking about this for the whole show. And then after that, we'll see what's up for Thursday. We could probably finish that conversation on Thursday when it comes to the Coburger and Kopaka and Funk and all that stuff. So don't forget what you were wanting to say. We'll probably do it Thursday. And I'm sure there'll be more updates coming out about this case by the time we get to Thursday when I come back after my night off. But we'll see. Maybe that show will be the 50-50 where we kind of split it up 50-50. Let me see here. Must have been reset. Yeah, that's what I saw. So maybe it is when I do the sub only or whatever. The other day I was looking for one of the Doe. Forgot the word RNS. The what? The Doe Facebook groups. What does that mean? All my pictures are custom. I don't know about all that. What's up, Phantom? Let's see here. Butterfly wants more people get. You have some hard news. I know I've had some rough days here lately. Oh, I hear you. Let's see. All suspects. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, Phantom went through the screen door. Oh no. Oh my gosh, what happened? That's funny, Coat. Oh no. What's up, Cassie? 6 foot. Medium. Everything's gonna be down at gonna be down at 9 a.m. Four, 5 foot, 4'5". Y'all will show up. She's like a bit of cold, yeah. Butterflies pocket size. Jinx is shorty too. Polly Pocket. What's up, Grizz? George Harrison. I know. I think it's YouTube actually when it comes to that part. Thank you, SRB, because I don't think they want people to, get the real shit. If you love the intro, definitely sub to Grizz. What's up, Chris? Won't be able to talk, thanks. Oh. Uh-oh. I got you, buddy. Well, thanks for hanging out and supporting. Even if you're just listening with the earbuds, man. Don't be doing that, man. You gotta have the work life to have the home life. Because if you don't have the home life, uh-oh. Aw. Yeah, I was in there for a little bit. Crazy, man, crazy. It's so hard. Like sometimes I wish I could be just have the day show already. So I was like, damn. Dun, 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 da, 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 dee. Dun, 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 dun. What's up, Truthful? There you are. So cold. Had to go to the doctor's yesterday. Uh-oh. You okay? Yeah, just I'm gonna be talking with that family Friday, and then after that, I'll be starting to schedule. Tell me why. Please tell me why my car is in the front yard. Yeah, go ahead. This is not Post Malone, Cassie. This is Prince. I can't even hear the song. Damn, I guess I'll get the. Uh-oh. Just some Aw, that sucks. 5'8". She's never satisfied. Because I'm burping Liberty. When doves cry. Gordon Lightfoot. Who is that? Who's Gordon Lightfoot? You are way behind. I'm not way behind. I'm right here. Oh, you meant the other side. Okay, I got you. I do have some Post Malone on here somewhere. I don't know where, though. It's on random. Yeah, it's on random. All right. Let me see here. Let me check the breaking real quick just in case. Yeah, this case came over our airwaves last night. We were starting the show. I had heard about, I had saw something on YouTube when I was at work about them calling off a them calling off the Amber Alert or whatever, but I didn't really know anything beyond that. I was just like, oh, they must have found the people or whatever. And then when I get home, I start to see a little bit of chatter going over YouTube and stuff, and I was like, what? And then we start doing our, the intro, and I'm saying, hey, and what's up to everybody, and as we're starting to talk and stuff, and then Pam's like, hey, they just found such and such, such and such. And we're like, what? And then we started kind of checking it out. We couldn't find any live feeds going on or nothing, which I was surprised, considering, how everything came out yesterday. Everything took place yesterday. He ended up not showing up for court yesterday morning. He was supposed to show up court regarding a previous case, and regarding also some other things that he was involving himself in while he was incarcerated. And he was supposed to show up for court yesterday morning, didn't show up for court yesterday morning, and that's when they got the warrant. So I'm assuming, because I believe all the kids were there Saturday, and I believe Sunday afternoon is when the kids were supposed to be arriving back at their homes. And then I heard one of the parents talk about how he went to the actual home. Nobody had answered the door, And so I assume that once they found out that he was a no-show at court, then they went ahead and said, okay, so there's really something fishy going on here. And they went ahead and searched served the warrant, or got the warrant to go search the property, and then that's when they discovered what they discovered and ended up calling off the search, unfortunately. So as we were chatting about this last night, it was like, how in the hell does this happen? How does a convicted sex offender, a registered sex offender, one that's been convicted of rape, served 18 some years in prison, how in the hell is he around children? Didn't understand it, still don't understand it. I don't know if I can ever understand it, but I'm sure there's going to be more stuff coming out. There wasn't a whole bunch of stuff coming out today, just the names and such like that. Excuse me. But I'm sure as the night goes on, I don't know if anybody ends up seeing that there's a live feed going on with regards to this. Let me know, and we'll switch to the live feed. But we'll go ahead and get into some of these videos here. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. I'm just kind of looking over everything here real quick. All right, I'm not seeing nothing. So let me switch to the first video. Let me turn on this music real quick, and then we'll get going right into it. And I'll get back to chat here. Get this music going here. And if you'd like to join the show, let me open up the panel too. You're more than welcome. Let me turn the sign on. Let me get the link out there. I'll get back to chat, and then we'll get into these videos. Yes, 2 adults, 5 kids, actually. Yeah. Let's see here. Making all your videos private? Oh, that's cool. I mean, whatever you need to do, you know what I'm saying, Butterfly? Shaking my head doesn't... No, I do not know. Gordon Lightfoot. Who is that? Explain it to me. I'm sorry, Cassie. I am late to chat sometimes. You know that. I got so much shit going on. It's like I wish I had, like... it would be so cool to have, like, a Robin to Howard Stern, you know? To have, like, a Robin over in the other corner of the room, and we're, like, chit-chatting. Bam, setting it up. That'd be great, but... I'm not rich, so I can't do that. He legally wasn't allowed to have underage... Yeah, it's like, so who... There's so many questions I have, seriously. I don't understand how this took place in the first place. Don't understand it. Don't get it. Don't understand it. Makes no damn sense. And you know, the crazy part is he was reaching out to people, telling them what the hell he was going to do. He reached out to Mama. Told Mama what he was going to do. Told Mama. All right, so this is, let me see here. Oh, this is not one of them. All right, I'm going to go through these videos. I'm going to play. Let me see. Some of these are really old, but I'm going to keep them anyway. We're going to go first. I want to share a channel that I totally appreciate. And she did a show on this case earlier. Let me share. Crime Lines and Lies did a show on this earlier. I was hanging out the whole show. Let me share that real quick. I was hanging out at the whole show. And she did a live on this earlier on this topic. And I want to share that. So if you guys want some good listening after the show or tomorrow or whenever in the future or when you're on a road trip or something, definitely save this to your playlist. If you go to today, I believe it was, or maybe she did the trial. No, this was the last live that she did today, right here. So I'll go ahead and click on this. I'll share the link to the video if you want to add it to your playlist. Definitely check that out. It's a good episode that she did, and I want to thank her for all her hard work that she does on her channel. Crime Lines and Lies. Appreciate her. And one of the best icon pictures on YouTube, I'm telling you. She did a good cover of it. I had to leave it. Yeah, it was good. Definitely. All right. So I did want to share that before we got into it. Let me go back to my folder here. All right. And I'm calling it Oklahoma 6. I know there was 7 bodies, but I don't feel that that piece of shit deserves to be counted in one of them. So I'm calling it Oklahoma 6. Because I'm not including that piece of shit in the fucking number. Just telling you that right now. I don't care if you have a problem with it. All right, so I'm going to go to the top video here that I have. This is from 23 hours ago. Actually, I'm going to go to the first video that we actually played first when we came across this last night. I'll play this, and then I'm going to kind of slowly work our way into what's going on now. Then we got some documents to check out. If anybody has anything they want to send to the show for this, whether it's documents, articles, or whatever, please send them to me. Let me know that you sent me something, and I'll definitely check it. Because any information you guys want to give me, totally. And thank you all. Like, there was so many emails of links and articles. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. So here was this first video that we went through when we first found out about this.
We start with that breaking news. Investigators have found the bodies of 7 people on an Oklahoma property. The identities have not been confirmed at this hour. However, 2 of them are believed to be a pair of teenagers who went missing overnight. We appreciate you joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Jessica Shambach.
I'm Evan Onstott. Good evening to you. We have KOCO's Abigail Ogle joining us in studio as well. Abby, another one of those bodies we're told is likely the person of interest in these girls' disappearance.
Just a horrific scene, and certainly not the update that we wanted to report when we first told you about this. This all started as an endangered alert for 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer. They were last seen just after 1 a.m. overnight and into this morning. We're told that the girls were having a sleepover with a friend. That friend's stepfather, Jesse McFadden, is the main suspect in this investigation. He was actually supposed to be in court today for child pornography and soliciting a minor. We've been looking into this. He also has a criminal history, rape convictions, and larceny. Several agencies, including OSBI and the medical examiner, were at that property in Henryetta for hours. Just after 4 o'clock today, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol canceled the alert that they initially sent out. Again, the ME will officially determine the victim's identity. Investigators have not confirmed that this is Ivy and Brittany, but it is believed to be that the missing girls were found there along with the suspect, Jesse McFadden, and 4 other people who have still yet to be identified. 7 bodies in total. The medical examiner will determine all of their identities.
All right, now we're going to switch to this next one here, as long as YouTube allows me to. All right, so this was from 23 hours ago. Just a little 5-minute update about the breaking news. This was shortly after the video that we first saw. And like I said, we're going to kind of work our way into it because I not only want to share all of these with you guys, but everybody did such an amazing job sending me information. I want to try and show everything that I can too. So it's a thank you to you all as well.
Were found today in Oklahoma, Henryetta, Oklahoma, just east of Oklahoma City. This is in Okmulgee County. So the background here is that officials are saying that 7 bodies were found on this rural property here in Henryetta, Oklahoma, as they were searching for 2 teens. Earlier today, a missing endangered person advisory was issued after 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer were reported missing. The 2 were reportedly seen traveling with a convicted sex offender. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol then canceled that Amber Alert this afternoon. So this is an overhead shot of the rural area in which investigators were searching, again, looking for 2 missing teens, but instead they found 7 bodies on this property. We did hear from officials very briefly earlier today. I want to play out that sound for you now.
Investigate, what happened and, try to identify any perpetrator and just do that. I mean, that's with any investigation such as this.
How would you describe your feelings right now, or even OSBI's, with how grave this all is?
Well, anytime someone loses their life, that's a serious situation. So that's about the best way to describe anybody's role in anything is to say that, it's something where somebody has lost a life.
Has McFadden had any criminal history, or has OSBI been aware of him before?
I couldn't comment on that. I don't know.
Will you be investigating if there was anything leading up to this, if there were any warning signs with McFadden?
Well, no, as far as warning signs, don't know about that. We'll just they'll be looking into every aspect of the investigation that's pertinent to the crime and everything. But as far as the tactics or strategy, couldn't comment on that.
Do we know when more details will be released about the victims?
Well, again, the biggest thing on the victims, I think what you guys are interested in, are the identities, ages, things like that. So really that information truly comes from the medical examiner.
Okay. Well,
will he be speaking to us at any point?
I have no idea. You'd have to contact the medical examiner on that one.
it's just a little unusual to have this many deceased. And we know McFadden and the 2 teens, but we don't know who the others are in relation to them,
Okay. Well, as far as the relation, I mean, there's a relationship somehow, but as far as discussing who is what relation, that's not going to be discussed right this moment.
Will you be coming forward with any more information about the condition in which these bodies were found?
Well, again, we talk about the condition of the bodies. That's really the medical examiner and their investigation of the individuals.
A minute ago, you used the word perpetrator, but just to be clear, there's no one else being looked for at this point. There's no nothing outside this land right here that's you're not looking for someone.
Well, okay, I said perpetrator. Maybe I just need to stand corrected on that. Perpetrator or perpetrator, because there's still evidence being processed. So if it leads to anyone else, of course, those will be followed up on. So, not to say there's any more people involved, but just so to answer your question, I'll say perpetrator or perpetrators.
I just want to be clear. There's no
Yes.
threat to public. That's what the sheriff had said earlier.
Yeah, there is no threat to the community as we know it at this time.
What do you think the community of Henryetta needs to know most?
Okay, would you repeat that?
What does the community of Henryetta need to know most at this time from law enforcement concerning all of this?
Well, just like I said, there's no suspect at large that we are looking for right at this moment. So that's the most important thing, is that there's no one else out there that we're looking for at this time. So there's no threat to the community.
At this time, do you believe McFadden is the one who killed everyone?
Who did any part of this? That's again subject to the investigation. So we're a ways from having that completed. So there's no way to answer that question right now.
You don't have McFadden in custody, do you?
Excuse
Do
me?
you have McFadden in custody?
Huh?
Do you have McFadden in custody?
There's been no arrest in anything right now.
Okay, a short update here from officials in Oklahoma after those 7 bodies were discovered during a search of a rural property near the town of Henryetta. Again, after police were initially looking for those 2 missing teens. A very sad story coming to us out of Oklahoma, just east of Oklahoma City. We'll continue to follow this here.
All right, so
We
there's...
start with that.
Whoa. Excuse me.
This is video from the search scene where 7 bodies were found today in Oklahoma.
You know, I
Henryetta,
want to...
Oklahoma, just
me
east of
zoom in on
Oklahoma
that.
City. This is in Okmulgee County.
That is a huge area of property. So from my understanding is it was his property. How in the hell you get that much property after being incarcerated for 18 years? Was it inherited or something? I mean, that is look at that property.
So the background here is that officials are saying that
That is
7
huge.
bodies were found on this rural property here in Henryetta, Oklahoma, as they were searching for 2 teens. Earlier today, a missing endangered person advisory was issued after 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 6.
That is huge. Right, Moto? Must be nice. I would love to have that much freaking property. They lived way out in the boonies. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. It was very rural. As we start to get into these interviews where they talk to some of the parents, and you know what the crazy thing is? There was supposed to be more children that were supposed to go to this hangout. I was listening to one of the parents' interviews earlier, and they said that there was supposed to be more kids going to this function, and some of them couldn't make it. Thank God. What's up, Moto? Harsher punishments. It's like I put a comment in Crime Lines and Lies show earlier today, and I said, because you can be rehabilitated, and I said, when you desire apples and somebody forces you to eat rehabilitation oranges, it just don't work. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. Just got in from work. What'd you send me, Chris? I just sent you a link to this topic through direct message. Oh, I haven't even checked Discord. Okay. What is this link here? I don't know. Maybe, oh, that's an hour and 52 minutes. Do you have a timestamp on there, Chris? If there's something you want to share with that episode, let me know. If there's a certain timestamp you want me to go to. Let me see here. Sorry, Butterfly. I just saw the Discord. With me working later now, it's hard for me to even get to I couldn't even get to my emails until like maybe 10 minutes before the show. Oh, I miss getting off at normal time. But yeah, that's why I had to push it back for 15 minutes later today. I was trying my hardest to make the time, and I wasn't making it. But anyway, that is a huge
16-year-old
area.
Brittany Brewer were reported missing. The two were reportedly seen traveling with a convicted sex offender.
Look at that.
The Oklahoma Highway Patrol then canceled that Amber Alert this afternoon. So this is an overhead shot of the rural area in which investigators were searching, again, looking.
Yeah, Chris, if there's a certain timestamp of a certain part of it you want us to check out, just let me know, and then I can get to it. There's so many other videos that we're gonna get to here tonight. Plus, I do have some articles too. I got about 5 or 6 articles as well.
For 2 missing teens, but instead they found.
Hey, SRB, did we have any more luck on finding any more of those documents? Just let me know.
7 bodies on this property. We did hear from officials
Look at that.
very
Holy
briefly earlier today. I
crap.
want to play out that sound for you now. 7 bodies
Look
on this
at this.
property. We did hear.
Look at how big that frickin' property is. Wow. What do you got? Like your own personal frickin' golf course too? Look at that. You got 3, 4 lakes, 5 lakes? What the hell? So need huge prisons to permanent. Well, I think this is the problem, Kelt. I think a reason a lot of these people are getting let out is because of the overcrowding. The problem is prison is too much of a big business. Make a lot of money. It pays to keep people locked up. How about we do this? How about we let go of all the people with the weed crimes, since that shit's about to be legal in a few years all over? How about you let all them go and keep the fucking pedophiles in the fucking jail? How about that? That's just my idea. Then you don't have no overcrowding, right? How old were the victims? I was gonna put a post up. Give me 1 second. I'll give you the ages here. I was gonna put it up earlier this afternoon, but I didn't want to. I already put up the community post with the link about the video, but I didn't want to put up all of that shit yet. But basically, the wife, Holly, was 35. Then there was a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 13-year-old. And yes, look at that. 5 frickin' ponds if you want to count the bottom right one as 2, because it's got the land in the middle. Look at that. Own damn golf course. Yeah. On the arrest. According, it was his property. We'll get into these. There's a lot of videos that I watched that we will be getting into tonight. So there's a little more information that I know than maybe somebody that hasn't watched any of these yet. You know what I mean? Let them go. And then keep the pedos in. Because I'm sorry. If you like apples and then somebody tells you, no, you can't like apples, you have to like oranges, I just don't see how you can. I just don't see. Isn't working. We need to be more. That is true too. Yeah, that shit's getting crazy. Dre, what's up? Hope you had fun in Vegas. Moto. A nasty ass smell. Yeah, we'll be getting into it. All right, let me get to the next video here. I just wanted to I'm going to take a picture of that. That is crazy right there. Hold on. I need to take a picture of that. That is a piece of property. Holy shit. Just take me a screenshot real quick. All right, paste. And then we'll save that in the case file. Because I think I need to go back. That's a crazy ass piece of property, man. Holy shit. All right, so that's saved. All right, so let me get to the next video here. So 17, the children were 17, 15, 15, 14, and 13. Okay, so let me see here now. This is a video from last night, and I'm sorry, Kelt, but I got this sent to me a few times from everybody, so I know people want to watch this. It's got some Cuomo, and it's got Jennifer Coffindoffer Kelt. Double whammy. Double whammy.
Now, breaking on our watch, these 7 bodies found in a rural area of Oklahoma. Authorities were looking for 2 missing teens. All we know is they're not looking for the teens anymore. Bodies haven't been identified, but there are 7. We don't know about any weapons there or what the mode of death was. But we do know, again, that they're not looking for those teens anymore. And there's another wrinkle. So let's bring in former FBI agent and News Nation Law and Justice contributor Jennifer Coffindoffer. Thank you for jumping on this in real time, as I did. The wrinkle that I want to talk about first is I'm not going to ask you to provide information when we both know that they don't have it. But them saying they're not looking for the kids anymore is not a good sign. Them saying that they had been seen in the company of a known predator who was supposed to start a trial today for that type of predation activity, and we don't know what happened. What does that mean?
Speaking of, it's crazy. I'm on Twitter, and you make an interesting comment, Kelt, because I'm on Twitter and I see somebody tweeting at Elon Musk about how he account blocked this person for proudly representing a pedo flag. And I'm like, well, damn straight. He goes, we don't allow that stuff on our community, is the reason why he blocked or banned the page or something like that for posting that shit. What the hell is wrong with people? Like, what the hell is wrong with people? Why would people make this shit legal? I don't understand. SRB. Yeah, I got it multiple. I got it sent to be multiple. I was like, oh shit, this has Cuomo and Coffindoffer. Kelt is definitely gonna have to go to the store. It is crazy. I just stopped for a few days. Aw. Oh, cool. Nice. Bacon was on Epstein. Oh, wow. Yeah, actually, I'm going to be doing some Epstein. I've had some Epstein stuff for a really long time that I've been saving, but it's not enough for a whole show. But I've been getting some new Epstein stuff that's been coming out recently, too. And we're almost there, almost at a full show. So I'm probably going to be doing one of those soon, too. I am going to be covering Madeline Kingsbury coming up. I already have a show prep for that. I've had that for about a week and a half. So we'll be having a short show coming up on that. Another one on Epstein. We'll be doing some surprise streams coming up where I'm going to be covering those. Did anyone see the Tucker about how he goes? No! Moto, send it to me, please. Send it to me, please, and I'll add it into my Epstein show. I like Tucker Carlson. Sucks to hear about the shit cannon. It was the Full Send podcast. Waiting for the knock at my door. Yeah, please send it to me if you have it. I'd definitely like to check that out while we're checking out. I even have like a 60 Minutes Australia little special that they did too. A lot of good stuff. Because honestly, 60 Minutes Australia was the one that actually started getting this whole ball rolling, because nobody in America was even touching the topic, and it took Australia to dig into it and then start releasing it, and then the American media wanted to go ahead and start discussing it as well. But it was kind of interesting how nobody was allowing them to talk, and then they went to Australia 60 Minutes, and all of a sudden it's a huge story now.
Convicted rapist Mr. McFadden, and according to preliminary reports, Mr. McFadden, as well as these two young teens, 14 and 16, preliminarily have been reported part of the 7. They're waiting, obviously, for examination and an autopsy, but that's where we're at right now, Chris. And then 4 additional bodies found in that house. No information about those 4 bodies.
You know, help us understand, sexual predator, someone who's a pedophile. How often is murder or mass murder or storing of bodies like this, like a serial killer type pedophile? Is that unusual?
It is somewhat unusual, but this is clearly somebody, if indeed these crimes become connected to him, this is somebody who indeed fits the profile and the definition of a serial killer.
7 people. And then, do you think at this point there was another link there that I read down into? Some 40 miles away, they had 4 other bodies, but they have a different guy for that case, where that was just the typical American mass murder. They don't think that it's connected to this one. But I just wanted to put it out there.
Quit being a smart ass, Cuomo.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com.
No reason to be a smart ass there, buddy. Just like that little smart ass comment he said in the beginning. Look, catch this. How he was right up in front.
Now, breaking on our watch, these 7 bodies found in a rural area of Oklahoma. Authorities were looking for 2 missing teens. All we know is they're not looking for the teens anymore. Bodies haven't been identified, but there are 7. We don't know about any weapons there or what the mode of death was. But we do know, again, that they're not looking for those teens anymore. And there's another wrinkle. So let's bring in former FBI agent, News Nation Law and Justice contributor Jennifer Coffindaffer. Thank you for jumping on this in real time as I did.
Thanks for jumping on this in real time as I did. Thanks for letting us know. Oh, my gosh. I feel you, Kelt, but sometimes I have to. I don't have a choice. All right, so this is Fox 23 News Tulsa. Now, this is an LE discussing the bodies, and this is also from a day ago. This is yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, just to give everybody a heads up. Still, we're not in through this morning yet.
Seven bodies on the property of a... Fox 23 is staying on top of breaking news. The search for these 2 missing girls is over. Ivy Webster and Brittany Brewer.
What the heck?
This comes after Okmulgee County deputies found 7 bodies on the property of a convicted rapist. I'm Shay Rossi.
And I'm Sarah Whaley. Thanks so much for counting on us tonight at 6. We start our breaking news coverage with Fox 23's Abigail Dye. She's live on the scene just east of Henryetta. Abigail, I know a lot developing out there. What do we know so far?
Well, Sarah, this is just I mean, it's tragic news, and this is a tragic scene. Everything is so heavy here. Now, I'm on this property where the sheriff says they found those 7 bodies. This is just off of Holly Road, and that's east of 75 in Henryetta. I'll show you the property here behind me. There's quite a bit of land here, a lot of open land, and then a house. Now,
A lot of
the
open
sheriff
land.
does say
Holy
that
crap.
Jesse
Look at that
McFadden, a
land.
convicted rapist, lives on this property with his wife, Holly McFadden, and their 3 children. Now, those 2 missing teens were known to last be seen.
You know, this is okay. I'm just throwing this out there because this don't make sense. How in the hell were they married so damn quick? And it makes me wonder, was she in love with him while he was still incarcerated? Did they fall in love when he was incarcerated? Maybe they had a relationship before he was out.
With the McFaddens, they actually came to this property for a sleepover, and we have been told by the mother of one of those missing teens that she is one of the bodies that was found here on this property, and that there were 5 children and 2 adults found here. Now, McFadden was convicted of rape in 2002. He got out of prison in 2020, but allegedly while he was in prison, he was charged with child pornography charges, and he was supposed to stand trial today for that case,
While
but he
he
never
was in
made it to
prison.
the courthouse. Now, the Okmulgee County Sheriff Eddie Rice says he can't give positive IDs on these bodies or a lot more information at this time, but they're continuing to investigate.
We're still conducting an investigation. We're still following up the leads, still doing everything that we can just in case there's something that is left open. We don't want to miss anything, so everybody's still actively going. I want to thank the Violent Crime Task Force, the DA's office, Sheriff's Department, Henryetta PD, Okmulgee PD, OSBI, and all the other entities that come out here and assisting with this. So again, it's a tragic day in Okmulgee County again, and we just ask that you pray for the families.
Tragic. I think that word is sticking with all of us right now. I mean, even as my photographer and I were driving down here, we were hoping that this wouldn't be the update that we had to bring you. But it is, and our hearts are certainly with the families. Obviously, there are a lot of questions left, and that's why we have multiple crews out here. We're going to stay right here on scene and continue to try to get you those answers. Live covering News That Matters, I'm Abigail Dye, Fox 23 News.
We have been staying in touch with the mother of one of the missing girls. Cannot imagine what she's feeling tonight.
Absolutely not. Fox 23's Michelle White continues our team coverage at the scene as well. Michelle, this is absolutely heartbreaking. We don't even really have the right words we must be going through.
Shay and Sarah, we don't. It is heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking before we got this news. And as mothers, we feel other people's pain. So it was very tragic to hear this news. I'm standing in front of the house of Jesse McFadden, where he and his wife, Holly, and her 3 children live. It was just about an hour ago that law enforcement announced to us that they did find the bodies of 5 juveniles and 2 adults. The suspected killer, they believe, is Jesse McFadden. And 2 of those teens who were missing since Sunday are believed to be among the 5 juveniles who were found here. I did speak with one of the teens' mothers before the news conference, and she told me that police had already notified her that her daughter Ivy, her daughter's friend Brittany, and the McFadden family were all dead. These are pictures of 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer, 2 friends who left on Saturday morning to go out with another friend, Tiffany, who is the stepdaughter of Jesse McFadden. When the parents of the teens hadn't heard from them since Sunday morning, they called law enforcement. Ivy told her mother she was spending the night with her friends, Brewer and Tiffany, at McFadden's house, and that the friends were planning to go to McFadden's ranch in McAllister. But the Okmulgee County Sheriff said they never arrived. Webster received a text from Ivy on Sunday morning, but she says she isn't sure now that text came from her daughter. Okmulgee County Sheriff Eddie Rice says the teen's cell phones did not ping to towers. Earlier today, McFadden's car turned up parked across the street from this property. And around 3:45, Webster's mother told me she got the news that McFadden had reportedly killed Ivy, Brittany, his 3 children, his wife, and himself. Sheriff Eddie Rice did not confirm that, but he said the 7 bodies were found here and the search for the missing teens is over.
So sad.
We Snapchatted that night because that's what me and her do. Then Sunday morning, I got a message saying that she was going to McAllister to do the fence and that they should be home by 5. And I asked her if she could get home earlier if she could. She said, yeah, she'll try.
OSBI is now leading this investigation and will be looking to them and the medical examiner's office for further details. It was mentioned earlier that McFadden was due in court at 9 a.m., and that was for a jury trial for charges pending against him for procuring juvenile pornography and for soliciting sexual communication with a minor while in prison. I spoke with the DA in that case, and he said that all of the attorneys were in judges' chambers when they got that emergency ping about the missing teens. We'll continue to bring you updates, and as Abigail said, we have crews on the scene, and we'll continue through the night. Live in Henryetta, covering news that matters. Michelle White, Fox 23 News.
Yeah, we have an interview with that family coming up, too. There's actually a couple of them. They went on a couple different news stations today. Yeah, and I'm sure with forensics, you know, I'm sure based off the scene, they can kind of, but you know, I know what you're saying, Moto, because we're just a speculation channel. Now, this is the next video coming up, just a short clip.
It is a very dark and disturbing day for the small town of Henryetta in Okmulgee County, Oklahoma, where the Okmulgee County Sheriff says 7 bodies were found on a rural property just a few miles east of Henryetta on Holly Road. They tell us that they were executing a search warrant at about 3:00 p.m. when they found these bodies. 2 of those 7 bodies are believed to be 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old Brewer, who have been missing since 1:30 this morning. But the medical examiner is working to confirm the identity of all these found here. The 2 missing girls were believed to McFadden when they disappeared. McFadden being a registered sex offender who was convicted of rape in his past. Lots of law enforcement are on the scene. They taped off the property.
And we have an interview.
Entrances to his home.
There's also an interview with that victim that's coming up too. There's a lot of interviews that we have tonight. So thank you everybody for hanging out. If anybody wants to hop up, just go ahead and ask me for a link and I'll throw one out there.
And they say that this home is McFadden's. OSBI has now taken over this case and will continue to give you updates as the night continues. In Henryetta, Kitra K.
Okay, and then this next clip, this was also from a day ago, but this kind of shows the location of where everything was located, as in reference to where at in Oklahoma, how close to Tulsa.
Update to breaking news that we are following out of Henryetta. Officials there have confirmed 7 bodies have been found on a property in Henryetta, including that of 2 missing teens.
Certainly not the update that we wanted to bring you. We first told you about these 2 missing girls at the top of the newscast, 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer. Officials confirming that their bodies have been found, along with 5 others. They believe one of the victims was the suspect in this. They were believed to be with Jesse McFadden, possibly a slumber party, a sleepover with the suspect's stepdaughter. And that is according to a reporter at one of our Tulsa stations. They believe that the 2 missing girls, that suspect, who, by the way, was supposed to be in court today on child porn charges, and still 4 other bodies have been recovered. Those still have not yet been identified or confirmed. This all coming from the Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office. Unfortunately, the missing persons report has now been canceled, as it is believed to be those 2 teen girls' bodies have been found.
So sad. What's up, Kid Kitty? What's up, Punksy?
Hey.
What's up?
How's it going?
You know, just this is one of those cases, you know, crazy ass.
Right.
Have you heard much about it today?
No, I've been watching Letitia's trial all day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a pretty crazy. This happened yesterday. Well, not sure when exactly the crime took place. They were staying there Saturday night. Nobody heard from them Sunday. Monday morning, dude was supposed to show up to court. Didn't show up to court. Cops came out. Discovered what they discovered. They issued an Amber Alert that morning, and then by the early afternoon, they had already canceled it because they found what they found. What a huge area of property.
I know, right?
That's a lot.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that he was out on property that big, out of the, out of the eyesights of everybody.
I mean, that had to be some money. It had to be an inheritance or something. That's just crazy. Because he was in prison for 18 years. I don't know how else you would walk out to property like that. I don't know. I guess I never had a property that big, so I wouldn't know.
Some of his family or something.
Oh. Trying to watch you. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty. Yeah. This guy, I don't know. The crazy thing is more detail. I believe he was 38, and the mom was 35. The three other children at the home were 17, 15, and 13. And then the two missing teens that were being reported, they were 15 and 14.
Wow. What is wrong with people?
And all of them. I mean, I don't know. When I first heard it, I was just like, I just assumed dude didn't want to go back to jail. And as I was sitting here listening to interviews and shit while I was working, here he had reached out to other people and said, I ain't going back, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. Or reached out to a previous victim and said, I'm going to do this, and it's all going to be your fault. Reached out to people. He reached out to his mother.
And nothing was done?
No.
What is wrong with her?
His mother texts the girl's mom.
To let the girl's mom know?
The wife? Yeah. She texts the wife's mom what the son said to her.
Oh my God.
And I don't know how you can reside on a property that has children living there either. I thought that was part of the rules. You couldn't be within a certain distance of a school, and you were not allowed to reside in the same household with frickin' children. So I don't know how there's so many reasons why this shouldn't have frickin' happened in the first place.
Right.
There's so many. And it's like, how did this one and this one and this one and this one and this one? How did none of them? What's up, Michelle? Thanks for hopping in. Yes, it's very sad. This all just happened yesterday. What led Ellie to his property, Michelle, is that he had a court date yesterday morning and he missed the court date. And so that's what led them out to the property. Now, the girls were having a sleepover slumber party Saturday evening. They were supposed to be back home by Sunday early afternoon. They didn't show up. They were supposedly texting with their daughters, but they said that the texts they were getting back weren't the typical type of texts that they would have gotten from their daughters. So they almost feel like somebody else was typing the words. And so they put out an Amber Alert for the two missing girls that were friends. The other children resided at the home. The two missing girls that were reported missing had an Amber Alert yesterday morning, and then by early afternoon, the Amber Alert was canceled because when the LE showed up to the property, that's when they discovered what they discovered, and they said that after they discovered what they discovered, there was no reason to have the Amber Alert anymore. And so you kind of put two and two together. That's when that was breaking yesterday, early afternoon. As we started the show last night, that's when it was, stuff was starting to be confirmed. But we went ahead and covered that for a few minutes in the beginning, then went to the Idaho 4. And now we're having a conversation about it tonight. So you're going to be learning it just like us with everybody. So please share your thoughts and opinions as we learn this case. So this is a clip from News Nation, and this is from 12 hours ago from this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and play this real quick. Michelle, what I'm doing is I just started off with some of the videos from yesterday afternoon and last night, and I'm kind of working the videos as it leads up to everything that has come out up to this minute. And then we'll go ahead and have some conversation after that.
Two of which are believed to be two missing teen girls have been found in a rural area about an hour south of Tulsa.
Yeah, this is a shocking story. Police were looking for 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer around a property near the town of Henryetta, which led to the discovery of these 7 bodies. Marky Martin is live this morning. And Marky, is it believed that these are other young girls, or we have no idea right now who could be a victim?
Yeah, as of this point, Adrian, we have no idea who could be a victim. Medical examiner working to identify everybody involved here. But those 2 teen girls that you mentioned right off the top, they were reportedly seen traveling with Jesse McFadden, a 39-year-old registered sex offender. And I want to set the scene for you. Last time we talked, it was still dark. So we're getting kind of a better picture of...
I'm not sure. That's the first time I heard 39. I've heard 38 since yesterday. So I don't know if he's 38 or 39. If anybody wants to make sure and type it up in chat, let me know, please.
The crime that investigators are their home. I mean, this is definitely rural Oklahoma farmland. We have 2 dogs here. At this time, we don't even know if anybody's home or if everybody on this property perished yesterday. But it is believed the bodies of those missing teens were among those killed. The search for them, which started yesterday morning, has now been called off. McFadden was set to appear in court Monday on child pornography charges. Oklahoma Department of Corrections prison records show that he was convicted of first-degree rape back in 2003 and released in October of 2020. Meanwhile, as you can imagine, those families are now grieving the loss of their daughters. And it was through tears last night that Brittany Brewer's mom detailed her devastation while talking to Ashley Banfield.
But she was just a very outgoing girl. Never met a stranger. Full of life. She was actually in a beauty pageant. She was excited about all that because she was winning, and she's like, "Mama, I'm winning. I am really." She was, "I really am beautiful," and I said, "Yeah, you are."
Aww.
Yeah, I can tell you those beauty pageants are a big deal in this part of
Give
the
this
state. The
mom
medical
some
examiner,
more
as I stated before,
time.
working to identify those 7 victims from yesterday and possibly one of.
Everybody's so worried about having the breaking fucking information. That's when, I don't know. I wasn't inside the production room. But damn, I would have said, you know what, if you want to do this tomorrow night, let's do it tomorrow night. I would have talked to her first. Who knows? Maybe she said no, let's do it. I don't know, but dang.
Those bodies could even belong to McFadden. And lastly, Henryetta Public Schools issuing a public statement yesterday saying that they are grieving the loss of several of their students. Of course, the verbiage there sounds like it could be more than just these 2 teen girls.
You know, and they're at that age, 13, 14, 15, where their brains are developing, so they're starting to develop like crazy amounts at that point.
Right.
There's so many changes going on, not only with your hormones, with your thinking process, with your outlook on life, with your, just all of these different changes that are starting to come that you're confused about, different things that, there's just so much more to think about. And then now, the small community, it's a small community, so they're definitely going to be affected. All these little ones.
Well,
it's just sad.
I don't understand what is wrong with that mother.
I don't know.
What is wrong with her?
Well, we'll be getting into some interviews, and Grandma talks a little bit, and I don't know. We just have to. I'm really confused with a lot of it because, like I said a minute ago, there is so many different directions of why this shouldn't have even taken place or been an option. Like, there's like 5 different directions that if one of them would have stepped up, one of them would have stopped this shit from happening, right? So it's one of these things where we're gonna have to sit back and see what happens and see what is see what comes out, because I'm looking at 5 different directions of how it should have stopped, and I don't want to prejudge any of those directions. All I know is that it's not Oklahoma 7, it's Oklahoma 6, because that dude's a piece of shit, and I already know that his ass don't deserve none of this shit, so it's Oklahoma 6 as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the wife.
You never met a stranger? Oh, wow.
The wife is what really aggravates me.
I hear you. Trust me. I hear you. Because it's like all you have to do is type a couple fucking words in Google and the shit pops up on your phone. Like, seriously, you could type in fucking sex offenders near me and the shit will pop up on your fucking phone. Like, it's not that hard. But I don't know. Who knows? There's a lot of people that get manipulated. Who knows what kind of story? Who knows? But to me, it wouldn't matter. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
But who knows? You know what I mean? We gotta trust me. I understand. But I also understand just as much as these other 4 things that should have stopped it as well. Because, the mom or the grandma getting the message and not reporting that. I mean, there's Child Protective Services. How in the hell is this guy residing where there's children? Probation. I mean, there's like so many different, Ellie, there's so many different ways that this should have not even been a possibility. I know these details will be coming out soon. There ain't no doubt about that.
The wife and kid should never have been in the house. The 2 girls should never have been invited to stay overnight.
Well, what happened to parents checking other parents out before they let their kids go stay at somebody else's fucking house too? What happened to that?
I know my kids used to get so pissed at me because I was very overprotective. And back then we didn't have cell phones. So I would tell my daughter, okay, I met the parents. I said, I will be calling their house and you best be there when I call. Because if you're not, I will find you.
I
mean,
ain't even checking the background of these people. How come these the girls that stayed there, how come their parents didn't look up sex offenders near me? How come you can meet somebody and not know their fucking background. So meet somebody, nowadays, maybe back then, nowadays, you better be looking up on the fucking internet what this person is.
well, I know one house I lived in Ohio. I did get on the sex offender website. I knew every address that they were at. And in my block, I had probably 7 sex offenders in a 3-block radius from my house.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
Everybody look it up sometime. You'd be amazed. You would be amazed. I challenge everybody to look it up. Just go on Google sometime. Look up SOs near me. And I guarantee you, you'll be fucking going, what the hell?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's sad.
It is sad. But you know what? You have to be proactive about it.
And you know what? Maybe, and it could be a good thing too, because we don't spend enough time as a family anymore. So maybe no more sleepovers, no more going to your friend's house for a while. Makes you, spend more time at home. You get more time with the parents. You get more family time. That's what's missing these days is family time.
But then your kids will hate you because you don't let them do stuff.
What's up, Chris? Why are so many men, mostly men, like this? Has it always been this? Is it getting worse? What do you mean, Kel? Explain more, please.
Oh,
SRB, did you get your stuff figured out? You gonna hop up? What's up? I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, I think it's just more out there now. I think it's been this way for many years, but it's just more covered now about it. That it's more talked about now, how many sex offenders there are.
But yeah, and with more technology, the more access too for these.
Yeah.
For these
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Way more access. I mean, hell, did you guys know that that Jesse had a Snapchat and he was friends with some of the children on Snapchat?
What? Is that the sex offender?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. The app where shit gets deleted automatically.
Right. Right.
Easy access, damn straight. I mean, hell, JSD's covered Yellow App. Yellow App is damn near like Snapchat.
They find ways to get around it.
They can track you. I mean, it's crazy. Snapchat is bad.
I worry about my 8-year-old grandson. He's autistic. And you know what he did? He started his own YouTube page. Oh my.
Wow.
And his dad didn't even know. But he found out and put a halt to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta you really got to keep a side eye anymore, because
You do.
plus you got to be more informed. I wish there was almost like an email newsletter for parents, hey, guess what, parents, for different age groups or something. If your child is between this age and this age, click on this tab. And then on that tab, it would have like, hey, these are the apps you need to watch out for. These are the movies. These are the video games. These are the this, and this, and this that you need to look out for when it comes to your child's age. Some kind of like email that would go out to parents. So if parents wanted to become or try to become better parents, they could just get a weekly email of information to fill them in because and it's no fault of their own. Parents are so busy sometimes they don't have time to look up oh my gosh, I just keep going back to this one dude I was working with like 15 years ago, and he was all excited that he got his 10-year-old son Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm like, bro, did you know that there's strip clubs in that, man? Like, did you not know this? I'm just letting you know, dude. I said, I don't want to tell you how to parent, but I'm just letting you know, like, there are like fucking strip clubs in Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm just, what? There is? Yeah, man. You got to do your research.
Right.
And I think if they're so busy nowadays, I think an email that would come once a week from some company would be great, just to kind of let parents know, like maybe all of these maybe it could be part of the video game and the movies and the music and all this other stuff. It's part of their lawyer teams where they got to get together, and they're the ones that create these tabs of information for parents. Like it should automatically come into your business, where as a responsible company for all ages, you need to get together and protect the younger kids, from shit that they're not ready to be exposed to yet. I
Right.
don't know. It's probably something that nobody cares about anyway, other than the people that, are like us in the show. People up them, and they're like, nah, fuck that. We want the penny. We don't need to be coming up with reasons why not to get the penny. Kids don't need to be meeting straight. No, exactly.
Well, us adults have to be careful too. It's getting terrible for us too. You got to be so aware of your surroundings anymore.
Oh, yeah. I think kids would get around the app. You got to think, like, kids are a lot smarter these days when it comes to the technology. Kids are a lot smarter these days, and in some instances, they're beyond us. So, I don't know if... I just feel like maybe they could get around the whole keywords and the app stuff. I think it's something that, like a newsletter should take care of. Hey, you need to see if oh, hey, let me see your phone. Well, you know what? When you get to this age, then I think you should be able to have this app. You sit down and you explain why, like, look, you want to have, real, you could talk to them. You don't have to tell them certain things that, like this person was this and that and this happened, but you could be like, look, didn't you know that these two children were using this app and this is what happened to them? And the only reason I just don't even want that to be an option for you. Even if it's a 1% chance, I don't even want that 1% chance to exist. So how about we just take our time and, we just keylogger? What is that? Oh, okay. The keyword.
CJ.
What? I was looking
Did
at
you
chat.
notice? Did you notice that my picture's on there?
Where? On the chat? No, I see
On
Kid
panel.
Kitty. Oh yeah, on panel. Yeah.
What the heck? It wasn't there the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's StreamYard.
I
It's
didn't do
StreamYard.
anything. That's cool.
Yeah, don't be. Yes. Yeah, Kelt knows a lot about this crap. Kelt, if you'd like to hop up real quick, we can take a few to talk about the social media stuff. The next video I'm going to get into is the community gathers for a vigil last night in Henryetta. Just a small clip here. I'm going to play this real quick, and then we'll go get ready for the next one and chat for a few.
Yeah, guys, tonight I was approached by Brittany Brewer's father, and in a huge act of courage, he told me about his daughter. I met up with him here at Henryetta High School tonight.
Everybody keep us in your thoughts and prayers this next week and coming up weeks, because we're going to be struggling hard, because it hasn't hit me just yet. I still think she's standing right behind me or going to walk down these steps.
Nathan Brewer, Brittany's father, pouring his heart out about his daughter tonight. He says she
Okay.
was one of the 7 found at this property just east of Henryetta. He told me a little bit about his daughter.
Hold on one second. I'm going to go back to that. And that is a great idea, Coat. Damn. I thought it was just an app. But hell, it's a key logger, which you can basically... Wow, that's pretty nice. You almost have to, you know? You almost have to. And it's sad, but it's... You know, protect your kid or some shit could happen. And then there's no child to protect anymore.
A bit about his daughter.
Brittany was outgoing. She loved kids. She wanted to be a teacher.
A vigil was organized for her and 14-year-old Ivy Webster at Henryetta High School tonight. Her dad says she had a heart for service.
She helped on the bus as a bus monitor because they were short on bus monitors at the school.
Nathan also told me Brittany was set to compete in a state beauty pageant in July, an event he will attend anyway in her place.
So I'm still going to go and represent her. I've got to call them and let them know that she ain't going to be there, but I'm going to go and I'm going to try to go and at least represent her.
There are many details still unknown in the tragedy, but through all this, Nathan says he has felt the support.
These churches, that they'll step up and be there for these families and provide whatever they can for them moving forward.
And I'm told there will be counselors here on the Henryetta campus tomorrow. Nathan told me his daughter Brittany was 15
Oh, they got
years
him in
old.
custody? I was wondering what was going on. I thought maybe he had bounced. Let me see if there's a lot of it going on. One second. Nice. That's glad to hear. That's a Gen 3. I can't watch him. He'll strike me. Let's see. So official update 9:30 p.m. So an update is coming up in a couple minutes. So while I'm waiting for this update to come up and then I see it pop up, and if anybody does have a live feed, go ahead and send it to me. I'm going to get to this next video here while we're waiting, and then we'll see what they have for this news conference here. Excuse me. Let me see here. I'm going to go to a newer video. So while we're waiting, this is the victim that they're referring to whenever we talk about the previous case and why he was charged with R. And this is Crystal Strong.
The suspect in this horrendous crime is a 39-year-old registered sex offender. I mentioned his name before. It is Jesse McFadden. He had a long criminal history, and in fact, he was due in court just today on child porn charges and soliciting a minor. That he was doing while he was incarcerated. Joining me now is Crystal Strong. Crystal was a child rape victim of McFadden's in 2003, and she helped to put him in jail for 20 years. Crystal, I can't imagine what you're thinking at this time, given what you've been through, and then just hearing from Milena about what she's coping with.
I mean, I'm okay. My trauma's been dealt with. My heart goes out for the families. I begged the DA a long time ago not to ever let him out of prison because I knew that he would do this to someone else.
Oh, wow.
I've never been contacted about when he was getting out. The last time I heard from anybody was when I was 17, and the DA or whoever it was told me that Jesse was really high on meth, that he's sorry, things happen and I need to learn how to forgive. And I hung up on him, and I tried to suppress the memories and move on with my life.
Needs to learn how
I
to.
don't have any contact with Canadian Shores or any of that area. And the minute I heard about this morning, I had a gut-wrenching feeling that those babies weren't going to come out of there.
She wasn't even told.
Crystal,
Aw.
this happened to you at the same age. I mean, Brittany's mom just told us she had only just turned 15. You were 16 when he attacked you. What was the circumstance?
He was actually, so I grew up, my dad lived around there, around Canadian Shores, and I grew up with his girlfriend and her sister. And he had showed up. I had been at a party that night in McAllister, and I had left my truck in McAllister and got drove home by someone else, some friends. And 3 friends actually, and my stepmom had drove by that night in the middle of my rape, but they kept going because my truck wasn't there. But Jesse had showed up and kept telling me that Holly kicked him out. He needed somewhere to go, things like that. And I was like, look, you really just need to call Holly. Like, you don't need to be here. And then I remember just being shoved through my door, a sock in my mouth, and being tied up to my own bed, and just horrible things happening. I remember the DA telling me that I would never have children. I just suppressed a lot of those memories, and then today brought it all back. And I just, all I wanted was those babies to be brought home.
And that's what we were all hoping for when that alert went out, that they would find those girls.
I've been talking to Caitlin Babb. They've been putting her case on the back burner for a lot of years. The girl with the pornography, with the charges that he was supposed to go to court for, he basically told her this morning, and I have screenshots of him telling her that when this all goes down, this is going to be your fault. And supposedly she gave that to the cops, I guess, and nothing was done.
And I want to be really clear, Crystal, you're talking about Caitlin. She was the subject of those lewd photographs that Jesse McFadden had in prison on a contraband phone. And she has spoken with you and given permission for you to tell her story.
Yes. She said that everybody keeps blowing her off.
Sorry, repeat that?
She said everyone keeps blowing her off and not doing anything. She's been just shoved off to the back burner. And then last night, Jesse had messaged her, I guess from a fake account called Holidays. I have that screenshotted too.
What?
Telling her, I've done everything I was supposed to do, and you just won't let well enough alone, basically. And now this is going to be on you. Basically, I felt like he was telling her he's going to do something, and she took it to I said, you need to take that to the cops. And she said, I did, and nothing's being done.
And she was prepared to go through with this court hearing today, because this court hearing today for him was about that.
She's been trying to do this. This all happened, I guess, when she was 15 years old. He even told her about me back when all this happened, tried telling her that it all started like I was trying to do it with him, and then all of a sudden I didn't want it anymore. He had that girl so brainwashed.
Thank you for watching.
That's what
Go to newsnationnow.com to find.
I want to listen to that again. She said a lot. Now, I thought it was his mom that got the message that he was going to do what he was going to do, that he wasn't going back. I thought she was the one that got the message, and maybe I just didn't hear it right, but I thought she was the one that got the message that it was going to be all of her fault or something, because I had heard that he had reached out to her too before this crime took place. Who knows? Who knows? Why was he let go? And I know Moto said something up earlier in chat about. Well, I heard there's a lot of drugs in that area too. Yeah, I heard there's a lot of drugs there. Somebody had said that they had moved a family member out of that area because the drugs were so bad. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. I want to listen to that again. And I'm leaving that graphic warning up there this whole time. I do need to put that in the description after the show's over. But I want to hear exactly what she said about the actual parts of the case here. But I'm going to go ahead and play the whole thing again. And then if anybody has a live feed, I've been looking. I was actually looking in the beginning of this. I'm not seeing anything yet. So if anybody has a live feed from like Fox or NBC or something, there should be a press conference coming out any minute. Just let me know.
News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe. This horrendous crime is a 39-year-old registered sex offender. I mentioned his name before. It is Jesse McFadden. He had a long criminal history. And in fact, he was due in court just today.
Right.
On child porn charges and soliciting a minor. That he was doing while he was incarcerated. Joining me now is Crystal Strong. Crystal was a child rape victim of McFadden's in 2003, and she helped to put him in jail for 20 years. Crystal, I can't imagine what you're thinking at this time, given what you've been through, and then just hearing from Milena about what she's coping with.
I mean, I'm okay. My trauma's been dealt with. My heart goes out for the families. I begged the DA a long time ago not to ever let him out of prison because I knew that he would do this to someone else.
Beg the DA.
I've never been contacted
and never
about when he was getting out. The last time I heard from anybody was when I was 17, and the DA
Why was she
or
not
whoever it was
contacted?
told me that Jesse was really high on meth, that he's sorry, things happen and I need to learn how to forgive. And I hung up on her and I tried to suppress the memories and move on with my life. I don't have any contact with Canadian Shores or any of that area.
That was DA.
And the minute I heard about this morning, I had a gut-wrenching feeling that those babies weren't going to come out of there.
Crystal, this happened to you at the same age. I mean, Brittany's mom just told us she had only just turned 15. You were 16 when he attacked you. What was the circumstance?
He was actually, so I grew up, my dad lived around there, around Canadian Shores, and I grew up with his girlfriend and her sister. And he had showed up, I had been at a party that night in McAllister, and I had left my truck in McAllister and got drove home by someone else, some friends. And 3 friends actually, and my stepmom had drove by that night in the middle of my rape, but they kept going because my truck wasn't there. But Jesse had showed up and kept telling me that Holly kicked him out. He needed somewhere to go, things like that. And I was like, look, you really just need to call Holly. Like, you don't need to be here. And then I remember just being shoved through my door, a sock in my mouth, and being tied up to my own bed, and just horrible things happening. I remember the DA telling me that I would never have children. I just suppressed a lot of those memories, and then today brought it all back. And I just, all I wanted was those babies to be brought home.
And that's what we were all hoping for when that alert went out, that they would find those girls.
I've been talking to Caitlin Babb. They've been putting her case on the back burner for a lot of years. The girl with the pornography, with the charges that he was supposed to go to court for, he basically told her this morning, and I have screenshots of him telling her that when this all goes down, this is going to be your fault. And supposedly she gave that tops, I guess.
So he told that to who?
Goes down, this is going to be your fault.
He said that to who?
Another victim of his.
So not her, but another victim.
To
Yeah, another
Caitlin
one.
Babb. They've been putting her case on.
Oh, hold on.
It went
I think
out,
that's what he was going to
that
court
they
for.
will-
For the one that, yeah, okay. I thought he was going to court for her.
Not for this
So-
one.
Huh.
Find those girls.
I've been talking to Caitlin Babb.
Caitlin Babb.
They've been putting her case on the back burner for
They've
a lot
been-
of years.
They've been putting her case on the back burner for a lot of years. Caitlin Babb. So that's the person he basically said that shit to.
The girl with the pornography, with the charges that he was supposed to go to court for, he basically told
Because that's the pornography he had with on the cell phone that he had while he was incarcerated, right? What's up, Cherry? So, because I heard he had a cell phone on him when he was incarcerated and he got caught. And
Right.
her this morning.
Well, if he
I
got
have
caught,
screenshots.
they shouldn't have. If he got caught while he was in prison, then they shouldn't have let him out.
I don't know. I don't know the details yet. I'm trying to find some court documents, but we'll see if we can get some.
Supposed to go to court for. He basically told her this morning, and I have screenshots of him telling her that when this all goes down, this is going to be your fault. And
Screenshot.
supposedly she gave that to the cops, I guess, and nothing was done.
And I want to be really clear, Crystal. You're talking about
What?
Caitlin. She was the subject of those lewd photographs that Jesse McFadden had in prison on
There we go, right here.
contraband
Yeah,
phone.
that's right.
And she has spoken with you and given permission for you to tell her story.
Yes. She said
And
everybody
was
keeps
she?
blowing her off.
Everybody can what?
Sorry, repeat that.
She said everyone keeps blowing her off and not doing anything. She's been just shoved off to the back burner. And then last night, Jesse had messaged her, I guess from a fake account called Holidays. I have that screenshotted too, telling her I've done everything I was supposed to do, and you just won't let well enough alone, basically. And now this is going to be on you.
I've done everything I was supposed to do? Oh, like he served his time. Don't.
Right.
Yeah, we need more facts.
Basically, I felt like he was telling her he was going to do something. And she took it to I said, you need to take that to the cops. And she said, I did, and nothing's being done.
Wow.
And she was prepared to go through with this court hearing today, because this court hearing today for him was about that.
She's been trying to do this. This all happened, I guess, when she was 15 years old. He even told her about me back when all this happened, tried telling her that it all started like I was trying to do it with him. And then all of a sudden I didn't want it anymore. He had that girl so brainwashed.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com
then
to
she
find
said-
News Nation on your television provider.
Then she said he had that girl all brainwashed. All right. Thank you for the link, Kelt. Or Phantom. Appreciate it. Hold 1 second. There we go.
I'm a veteran of the war on drugs.
Official. Let me see. Were they talking about it already? I'm just kind of scrolling through it here to see if... basketball. Oh, here it is right here. So here's an update. So this is from an hour ago. We'll go ahead and check this out real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you, Phantom. That's what I thought too, Coat. That's what I thought too. I was like, damn, yeah, good luck. Especially after what I heard when I was coming home today from work.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. This is Andrew Kraft. Breaking news we want to report right now that we're learning from some of our sources down there on the ground. Multiple sources confirming that the Mexican national suspect, Francisco Oropeza, accused of shooting and killing 5 people there over the weekend in Cleveland, Texas last Friday. He has been taken into custody without incident in the Cleveland area by BORTAC agents. They are the special operations group, remember, of the Border Patrol. And so we're just showing you some of the video from over the weekend, from the search, from the manhunt.
Man, it keeps
this
changing
has been,
shit on the
now,
screen.
A 4-day search for that suspect. And he is now in custody. Remember, we were reporting and we were learning in this tweet from FBI Houston, there will be a media briefing today in a little under an hour. They're in Cleveland, Texas, with the San Jacinto County Sheriff and the FBI. And so presumably they will kind of outline and provide us details about what exactly led to Oropeza's capture there. And so this is breaking as we speak. We're going to be carrying that press conference live with those law enforcement officials after Oropeza over the weekend. Like I said, he was shooting his AR-15 style rifle in his yard, so much so that his neighbors were annoyed and bothered by it. They confronted him about it, and he shot them dead, 5 of them, including an 8-year-old boy. And we have been following every nook and cranny, every development of this search since that all transpired over the weekend. Law enforcement getting so many tips, false alarms, leading to really nowhere until
How'd they find him?
We are learning, if you're just joining us here, multiple sources confirming to Fox News that the Mexican national Francisco Oropeza, accused in the shooting and killing of 5 people.
Well, and I'm even hearing this over the news waves, and who knows if it's true or not. But I'm even hearing that the officials down there, south of the border, we're going to these officials saying, hey, we have the surveillance, we have the intel, we have this is the person that we need, and they're not even really helping us. So it's like once they cross the border, I mean, Shanquella Robinson, there's nothing that they can do, because if you go back to the beginning of Shanquella Robinson's case, right, when we first started talking about that, it was up to the Mexican officials if they wanted to allow the FBI to come in and assist. So it just, like you said, Kel, I thought the dude was gone. I'm glad that I'd like to know how they apprehended him, like what led to, like how did they get him? Because from all I've been hearing the last couple days is they had no freaking clue.
Has been taken in custody, quote, without incident. That's significant there in the Cleveland area by BORTAC agents, the Special Operations Forces from Border Patrol as well. So this is a breaking news story. We're going to stay on top of this. We have so much more to get to, though, on this very busy Tuesday. I'm Andrew Kraft. Thanks for being with us. Really going to get moving here and want to put up.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it on that. We'll get back to the folder. Let me see. SRB sent me something. Let me see. Is this the same? Yeah. Okay. It's the same link. Thank you, guys. We're going to switch back to this. We're going to get back to the topic. And then probably in about 15 minutes or so, they're going to have a press conference. So we'll switch back to that. This next video I'm going to check out here. We'll get into some of the interviews here. Now, this is from 8 hours ago. This is a state medical examiner working to identify, determine COD for the 7 people that were found. So I'm going to switch to this video, and then we'll kind of get to some of the interviews too.
Hannah, thanks so much. A breaking news update. So many unanswered questions this morning after the discovery of body on a property near Henryetta in Okmulgee County.
News 9's Alyssa Miller is at the Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office with the latest on the investigation. Alyssa?
This morning, we know the Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office and the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation are involved in this case. Search teams discovered the 7 bodies yesterday on a property near Henryetta while searching for 2 missing girls, 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old
Well, there's not going to
Brittany
be a
Brewer.
trial.
Deputies tell us the bodies of those 2 girls were found on the property, along with the body of Jessie McFadden, who the girls were with over the weekend. This morning, the remaining 4 bodies have not been identified. Deputies got a search warrant yesterday afternoon to search McFadden's home, and we're told that all the victims were found in the backyard. We spoke with Brittany's father, who says he's still processing this tragic news.
I mean, she was kind of like I have 5 kids, but she was like my sidekick. She helped me on the cars. She helped me everywhere. And she's gone.
It's not clear yet how the 7 people were killed, but we will get that information later on from the medical examiner's office. In Okmulgee County, Alyssa Miller,
All right.
Oklahoma Zone,
I'm going to switch
News
to
9.
this
7
next view. Now, this is from one of the parents.
We can now confirm for you, because of what the parents have told us, that 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer, who up until this moment, there had been an all points bulletin search for these 2 girls. We were hoping that we would find them. The problem is we have found them, and they have been confirmed as dead. I want to get you now to Caitlin Becker. She's joining us right now. She's a senior reporter at the dailymail.com. Caitlin, what?
Well, Ashley, we know that of those 7 people, we believe it was also McFadden's wife and her 3 children. One of those was the girl that the other 2 teenagers were having the sleepover with. And those 2, the parents of those 2 girls, which I think 14 and 16, grew very concerned when they didn't hear from their children after about 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. There was one text sent to one of the parents, but at this point, that parent potentially believes that it was not sent from their child. And once that happened, they contacted the authorities. And as you said, the APB went out this all points bulletin looking for these girls. Now, today, this day, McFadden was supposed to be in court for a hearing on child pornography charges and solicitation of a minor. And apparently the lawyers were at the court in the chambers. He didn't show up when they learned that the police had executed a search warrant on the house and found 7 bodies.
Caitlin Becker, I'm going to ask you to stand by, if you will, because
Absolutely.
joining me right now live is the mother of one of those teenage girls lost in this tragedy.
This
Milena
is that.
Chabelle is the mom of 16-year-old Brittany Brewer. I am catching you at your absolute most...
It's freaking obvious now. She was sitting there interviewing lady from the dailymail.com, and then all of a sudden, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to keep playing it.
difficult time, Melina, and I am so sorry to be joining you. And I'm so sorry for what you're going through right now. What else have the police told you?
They haven't told me anything. I live here in Texas, and I've just been hearing whatever my ex-husband's been saying. All I know is that she left on Saturday to go stay the night with her friend, her and the Ivy girl. And her brother, the last known contact with her, they were at the lake swimming on yesterday.
She should have
before
waited
coming
till
home.
tomorrow. Danfield, come on.
After they got done swimming, Tiffany, the girl who's what they went to see, her stepdad said,
That poor mom.
"Load up, I'll take you home." And he never took him home.
Oh my gosh.
and I haven't heard from her since.
Milena, had Brittany been to Tiffany's house before with this
Yes, she's
Jesse
been there
McFadden, her
several
stepfather?
I want to apologize, everybody. Since she didn't even really have to say 3 words, and I already knew of the little clip we saw earlier, and I apologize. I was actually sitting here for the last 2.5 minutes just stewing because I'm just like, why couldn't you have waited until tomorrow, Banfield? Like, what is the frickin' rush?
Because first news
Has obviously
That's all.
rushed because she was in the middle of interviewing dailymail.com lady, and then all of a sudden it's almost like,
Right.
hey, just call me as soon as you can.
Right.
Oh, hey,
It's
sorry, dailymail.com lady. I got. And then as soon as it's not like she asked her a couple questions and then the emotion came out. It's almost like mom just got off of work. She's still dealing with the news that came out the last couple days. Obviously having a really difficult time, which no one blames her. Like you already done talked to another parent. We're gonna get to it in a minute. I don't know. I'm just assuming that, and you know what happens when you assume. I'm just assuming that it was a rush. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. I just wanted to apologize to everybody because I wasn't even hearing what the mom was saying. I'm gonna rewind it and start it from the beginning, and I just wanted to be honest. I was sitting here stewing for 2.5 fucking minutes, and I'm sorry for that little rant there. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. We're just gonna go back to it, and yeah.
We can now confirm for you, because of what the parents have told us, that 14-year-old
Right,
Ivy
Phantom.
Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer, who up until this moment, there had been an all points bulletin search for these 2 girls. We were hoping that we would find them. The problem is we have found them, and they have been confirmed as dead. I want to get you now to Caitlin Becker. She's joining us right now. She's a senior reporter at thedailymail.com. Caitlin, what else do we know?
Well, Ashley, we know that of those 7 people, we believe it was also McFadden's
I'm gonna pay
wife
attention
and
this
her
time, I
3
promise.
children. One of those was the girl that the other 2 teenagers were having the sleepover with, and those 2,
I mean, it
the
is
parents
good
of
to
those
do
2
it.
girls, which I think 14 and 16, grew very concerned.
It is good to talk about it, but gosh, I'm sorry. I'm just I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's something that I would do. I guess maybe that's how I'm looking at it. Maybe I'm just looking at it like if I was going to have somebody on, a family member, and they're like really tore up, and this just happened the night before, and like it's as soon as I'm some big news source, I'm some news CJ, whatever, and I'm like, hey, I need you to, I don't know, I would just, number one, I'd have somebody like contact, if I'm doing a fucking show, I would have somebody at least contact somebody and be like, hey, how's it going, how are you feeling, this and that. And then if I'm on air like this right now, and then if it comes up like that, then I'm like, yeah, I'm totally cool with it coming out like that. But man, I would have to check first. It's out of respect. It's out of respect for you as the person that I'm having on. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm looking at it how I would do it. And when I'm looking at it like this, I'm like, damn, I don't know. That I could be looking at it like that. Very, very true.
When they
sometimes
Huh?
sometimes news media is very distasteful to me.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
like
very disrespectful.
I bring up this Oakley thing. I was hearing about it before it was even being released, right? I was hearing about it locally before it was even being released, and it wasn't confirmed, and I didn't want to spread frickin' news out there that could potentially get back to the family that, like, it's not cool. Like, I would hate to be that family member that hears about something that's just possible, and I wanted to be the first one to put it out on YouTube on a community post or some shit, Like,
Yeah.
there's just certain things I'm not going to post. I don't know. It's just me.
From their children after about 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. There was one text sent to one of the parents, but at this point, that parent potentially believes that it was not sent from their child. And once that happened, they contacted the authorities. And as you said, the APB went out this all-points bulletin looking
That's a good
for
point,
these girls.
SRB.
Now, this day, McFadden was supposed to be in court for a hearing on child pornography charges and solicitation of a minor. And apparently the lawyers were at the court in the chambers. He didn't show up when they learned that the police had executed a search warrant on the house and found 7 bodies.
Caitlin Becker, I'm going to ask you to stand by, if you will, because
Absolutely.
Joining me right now live is the mother of one of those teenage girls lost in this tragedy.
This is hard.
Milena Chabelle is the mom of 16-year-old Brittany Brewer. I am catching you at your absolute most difficult time, Milena, and I am so sorry to be joining you. And I'm so sorry for what you're going through right now. What else have the police told you?
They haven't told me anything. I live here in Texas, and I've just been hearing whatever my ex-husband's been saying. All I know is that she left on Saturday to go stay the night with her friend, her and the Ivy girl. And her brother, the last known contact with her, they were at the lake swimming yesterday before coming home.
What's up, Ray?
And after they got done swimming, Tiffany, the girl what they went to see, her stepdad said, "Load up, I'll take you home." And he never took him home, and I haven't heard from her since.
Milena, had Brittany been to Tiffany's house before with this Jesse McFadden, her stepfather?
She's been there several times, multiple times. I spent the weekend with her. She actually went and spent almost a week, like 4 or 5 days with her during Christmas break. It was almost once a month or twice, at least either once or twice a month. She went and spent the weekend with her.
What?
And there was no suspicion at all of what Jesse
What?
McFadden's background was. No one had ever informed you. Holly, the mother of Tiffany, had never.
With these kids that were always going over there, it makes me wonder if what the hell was going on before this shit took place. I mean, you're not talking about a serial killer over there. You're talking about a sex offender. So that it automatically makes me wonder if these kids were going over there all the time. What the hell could have been happening? What the hell?
Never informed you about
How is
Jesse's
this even
background as a
possible?
sex offender?
No, I mean, no. When she would go over there, she would video call me, and I would talk to her, and everything seemed perfect. I mean, everything seemed great. Her mom, I met her mom once over the phone, and I mean, she never said anything. My ex-husband, Brittany's dad, didn't know either. He told me today, he said if I'd have known, Brittany would have gone.
Well, yeah, of
The
course.
news, I don't know if y'all got it correct. She's not 16. She just turned 15 last Saturday on the 22nd of
Aw.
April.
Right. Well, we had that age correct.
I'm so sorry, Milena. What happened this weekend? When was the last time
We
you were
had that
able
age.
to talk with Brittany?
I didn't. The last time I saw her was last Sunday when I went to Oklahoma for her and her brother's birthday party. And I got to spend several hours with her. And then I talked to her. I talked to her that day, and then I think I want to say it was Tuesday. She called me.
Right.
And we were just
Exactly.
talking like our normal talk, and just playing around. And she told me she'd call me later, and I never heard anything from her, which was unnormal. Which I mean, it's usual. Sometimes she called me every day, sometimes she didn't. But I thought it was really odd because she always would call me after school, or especially on Saturdays. She'd always call me on Saturdays, and she didn't call me at all that Saturday, and she didn't call me at all today. I knew something was wrong because she wasn't answering I tried to call her. I got online on her Facebook, and I tried calling her, video calling her, and I messaged her, and she wouldn't respond. And it showed she was online, but she wouldn't respond, so I knew something was wrong.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
That's tough. We're still waiting for that press conference to come up. So let me see here. This is another set of parents that did an interview. Now, this one's from 9 hours ago, and it's going to be these same parents, but they're going to be on different talk shows. Before we get into that, I'm going to play this small clip. I believe this shows the actual Snapchat, or I'm sorry, screenshot that Crystal Strong was talking about in that video that we just watched a minute ago. So let me check and see.
The girls' families say they were staying with their school friend at the time of their disappearance over the weekend. What they didn't know is that friend's stepdad was a convicted rapist.
Ivy's mom says that man Jesse McFadden was one of the other bodies found. His wife and her 3 children are presumed to be dead as well.
We have live team coverage. We are going to start with Fox 23's crime and safety reporter, Abigail Dye. Abigail, I know you've learned McFadden was supposed to be in court today on another case, and all of that may have led to the killings today.
It seems like that's possible at this point, Shay. I mean, I've been out here all day, and it's still really hard to wrap my mind around what happened here. And I've been in contact with one of his previous victims, a woman who's a victim in this child porn case, and some of the evidence that she's shown me leads me to believe that you might be right. It's hard to understand how or why someone could do something like this, but I feel like these text messages that she shared with me give us a little bit of insight.
Oh, wow.
7 bodies found on the property
here
of
they
a
are.
convicted rapist. The discovery ended the search for 2 teen girls, Ivy Webster and Brittany Brewer, who were staying the night at Jesse McFadden's house, where he lived with his wife and 3 kids. McFadden was convicted of rape in 2003, a past that Ivy's parents were shocked to hear about. They spoke to us while the search for their daughter was still active.
He's a pedophile, and people need to know. They need to find him, lock him up.
Yeah, because he shouldn't have been out to be able to do all this.
He should not have been out. And it's our justice system that needs to be harder.
Court records show McFadden was accused of sexting an underage girl while behind bars for rape in 2017. He was charged for soliciting child porn, and because of the incident, he was set to stand trial the same day that the bodies were found. I've been in contact with the victim in that child porn case. She sent me these messages that she says McFadden sent to her Sunday night. You see, he sends a selfie, then a message saying, quote,
So here, let me zoom that back a little bit. All right. So this first one says, and you can take a screenshot if you want. It says, I did exactly, and it even shows a picture of him. She must have said, how do I know this is you? snapped a damn photo of him. But who knows? But I mean, come on, it'd be too coincidental if it was just some fake person, you know? This says, I did exactly what I promised I would do when I got out. I got a marketing job making great money and was being advanced. Been there 2 years now, and I made a great life like I promised I would do with you. Now it's all gone. I told you I wouldn't go back. This is all on you for continuing this?
Messages that she says McFadden sent to her Sunday night. You see, he sends a selfie, then a message saying, quote, I did exactly what I promised to do. He goes on to talk about the job that he got and says, quote, made a great life like I promised I would do with you. Now it's all gone. He then says, quote, I told you I wouldn't go back. And his last message reads, quote, this is all on you for continuing this.
There's going to be a lot more details that come out as the days go on that will make us understand why those messages, like, trust me, they're going to get into the hard drives and into the cell phone records and, you know, into all that stuff. Into the court records. They're going to find all those paper trails and they're going to start to put those together too. Man, this is it's a lot crazier than I expected. There's so many different directions. All right, let me see if this news conference is going on. Okay, it is. Give me 1 second. This is on a minute delay.
The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office in Texas, the San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office in Texas. We just heard from one of the PIOs on the scene. They're going to all, from those offices, issue statements, and then they're going to take questions from reporters. It does look like how this press conference is starting. We appreciate your insight, as we always do, into these major stories. Let's go out now live.
Why is it not letting me turn it up more?
Good evening. I'm Sheriff Greg Capers, San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office, with great news. The suspect is in custody. I have just left Montgomery County Jail, where he was taken, and he has been magistrated. He now will be taken to my jail and where his new residence will be. I would like to thank the men behind me and the women behind me. They're not women here right now, but everybody played a very, very integral part in the arrest and capture of this coward.
Okay.
Everybody behind me has worked tirelessly. I know that there are several people out of these 225 plus officers at this scene, not to include the millions of people, thanks to the media. Y'all push the message out. But we've had calls from Wyoming, Florida, South Texas, North Texas, Oklahoma, Maryland, and those are just a few of the places. We were here, they were there. Bottom line is, we now have this man in custody. He was caught hiding in a closet, underneath some laundry.
So whose closet was he hiding in?
They effectively made the arrest.
Underneath some
He
laundry.
is uninjured, and he is currently being taken to my facility in Cold.
They found him in a closet under some laundry.
Thank you.
Right. How did you find him?
Well, it was a multi-jurisdictional operation, to say the least.
Bravo.
Somebody got a tip. DPS, CID, U.S. Marshals, FBI. We had a TAC team. They all meandered over there and
Bravo.
found that tip to be true.
Found him in a closet.
That's unknown to me. Maybe one of these guys behind me can speak to the actual information on how he was actually captured.
Sheriff, what's your message to the family members, the surviving family members of those people who were killed in this attack?
Well, they can rest easy now, because he is behind bars, and he will live out his life behind bars for killing those 5.
Guys, we have time for questions afterwards. Sheriff,
The ASAC. This is the ASAC.
Hey, good evening. Thank you, Sheriff Capers. My name is Jimmy Paul. I'm an assistant special agent in charge with the FBI Houston Division. Thanks for having me. So just wanted to say, first and foremost, the victims and their families are in the forefront of our minds, and we're extremely delighted that the suspect was captured. The tip for the suspect's location came in through the FBI's tip line, and we just want to thank the person who had the courage and bravery to call in the suspect's location.
Special Agent Paul, Ted Williams, Fox News. Do you know if this individual faces federal charges?
Currently, it's an ongoing investigation, and he's being charged by the San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office. Sir, it's an ongoing investigation. I can't comment on that at this point.
Hey guys, we're gonna let him get through his statement and U.S. Marshals, and afterwards we'll take questions.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to thank the person who had the courage to call in the tip, and also I'd like to thank the many FBI personnel and local law enforcement agencies who work nonstop to bring this person to justice, to bring a sense of justice to the victims, and also a sense of security to the community of the San Jacinto County community. I mean, this is basically what we do. You know, we show up, we bring the adequate resources, and then we don't let up. We always said it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when the suspects can be caught, and we're extremely glad that today was the when. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to the U.S. Marshal Service representative.
Good evening. My name is Joe Ruiz de Chavez. I'm a supervisory deputy U.S. Marshal. I oversee the Gulf Coast Violent Offenders and Fugitive Task Force here in Houston, Texas. First, I want to say that this was an atrocious crime that devastated this community and this country. We received a call for request from Sheriff Capers, and we brought expertise in fugitive investigations and personnel to assist in this investigation. The Marshal Service is the oldest federal law enforcement agency, and we have an expertise in hunting fugitives. This is a very sad time for the victims, and I hope that this will bring them some comfort, and they could grieve. Thank you.
We'll open up for questions now.
Can you tell us if Oropeza had any help from anybody? Can you tell us if Oropeza had help from family members or any other friends in the area to help him hide for the last 4 days?
I can say that we've contacted many families, associates, not only here in the Houston area, but across the country.
Does that mean he's had help over the last 4 days?
I can't comment on that.
And did he ever reach out to any family members after the shooting incident on Friday night?
I can't comment on that.
Who do they have detained at the scene? The female detained at the scene, who was that?
Again, this is an ongoing investigation, and we can't disclose that.
Sheriff Capers, you had mentioned previously that there were multiple occasions, you weren't exactly sure how many, of police being called to that property for a firearm being discharged. Then we learned that Oropeza was removed from the country 4 times, and then in 2022, a protective order that was filed by his wife for domestic abuse. At any point, did that prompt further investigation from your office?
Yes, sir. We actually filed charges on him in 2022. And it, to the best of my knowledge, we got a warrant for him, and the constable went to serve him in another county because he left here, and never could make contact with the subject. Then a few days later, the victim went to the district attorney's office in our county and filed a non-prosecution statement.
So it's sorry to belabor this point, but the address where this arrest took place have court documents that show it traces back to an aunt of Lopez, I believe. Is that still the case, that this would be a home of a family member? Did anybody confirm that?
I can't. I mean, it's still ongoing. The investigation part, I wasn't part of the arrest team.
Sheriff Capers.
Once again, not that I know of. I have no knowledge.
Multiple agencies. Was DHS also involved? Was BORTAC the agency who actually went in and made the apprehension?
They were part of that team, I do believe. Yes, ma'am.
And now with the wife, the surviving wife that's still living at that home, she is currently an ICE fugitive. Is anything happening with her? Is she being investigated? Are there follow-ups happening with her? I've understood from deputies that she has been cooperating.
And to my knowledge, she is still there because the officers are still there. I have no direct knowledge because this all happened within the last couple of hours. But she is still there.
We know that.
That large reward that was put out, is that what made that person call in this tip, and will that money be going to the person who called in the tip?
The money will be going to the person that called in the tip through the proper channels. Yes, ma'am. I'm thinking it's still 80,000.
We know that he's been in this country since 2016 illegally, meaning our peso. The question is, and he had an AR-15 rifle that he was shooting the night of this incident. Have you been able to connect the dots as to how an illegal alien was able to purchase or to get that AR-15 weapon?
Well, I could just speak to conjecture. Buy it from somebody else on the street.
Are you conducting an investigation to try to connect those dots?
Yes, sir, we are. That is an ongoing investigation as well.
When did you learn about the suspect was at this address, and when did you actually go in? What was the time, the specific time?
For tonight's arrest?
Oh yeah, when did you first learn that he was there, and then when did you actually go in?
We would probably need to defer that to the FBI or the U.S. Marshals.
We received the tip at 5:15. Sorry about that. We received the tip at 5:15 p.m. and the arrest was made at 6:30 p.m.
Can any of the participating agencies discuss how surprising that you ended up finding Lopez 15 miles away or less from this crime scene?
I can't really speak on that. I can just tell you that we're just extremely happy that the citizen had the courage and the bravery to call in that tip.
Had you guys searched that area before you got the tip, or
I'm not sure if it was searched before, but we immediately dispatched the team out there as soon as we got the tip.
We're going to take 3 more questions.
Searched as well, known areas, known accomplices, or any of his family members? Were those areas searched specifically as well? I know he's been talking about family. We're obviously hearing that this was a family's home that this person was found. So were other family homes searched as well? Was this one just a random tip? What happened? Were there other families around?
As far as we know, this is just a one-time random tip, but we've contacted multiple houses and families throughout the area.
What does contact mean? Have you gone in? Did you search these homes?
Right, we have.
Laundry piles in other families.
We've done knock and talks with multiple homes throughout the area, and we've gotten consent from the homeowners to go in and take a look. So we've done those kind of actions. Yep.
2 more questions.
Sorry to hear that, Crimezilla. Thanks for hopping in.
No, ma'am. Nobody else is in custody tonight. And
yeah, was deported 5 times.
I'm assuming that they are still at the house questioning the people that were at the house where the suspect was arrested.
as far as we know, we do not know anybody else that was injured.
Yes, sir. Murder.
There we go.
5 counts of murder. $5 million bond. No, sir. Not at this time.
There is a video in social media. Is correct person?
Say it one more time.
There is a video in social media. Is the correct video? The correspondent
I haven't had time to visit social media.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to clarify. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you guys very much. Guys, I'm going to clarify some of the spellings and answer some of the roundup questions here. I know that there are questions very quickly about the speakers that just were up here. Again, San Jacinto County Sheriff Greg.
All right, authorities there providing an update and stating that the 4-day manhunt has come to an end. Again, 38-year-old Francisco Oropeza was taken into custody without incident. And again, he was taken into custody in the Cleveland, Texas area. And as you heard there, authorities say that he was found hiding in a closet under a pile of clothing. Let's go ahead and show you that man's photo. That man there is now in custody and has been arrested. Now he is expected to be facing 5 counts of murder, again, for allegedly killing 5 neighbors, including an 8-year-old child. This happened over the weekend. And as you heard there, he's accused of, again, killing 5 people, his neighbors, allegedly for asking him to stop firing a rifle in his yard in order for a baby to sleep. Now, authorities say that they got a tip which led them to finding Francisco Oropeza. And initially, they had been offering an $80,000 reward. And it sounds like someone out there will be receiving that reward because the suspect has been taken into custody, obviously to the relief of many people there in
You
this
know what?
small.
I'm gonna be honest with you when it comes to these rewards. You remember when Vicky White and what's his name? What was that dude's name? Vicky White and
I can't think of his first name.
What's his name? You guys remember the Ellie that took off with the convict? Went through Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, finally got caught in Indiana. Casey White. Vicky White
Yeah.
and Casey White. You know that guy? You know that guy at the car wash? The one that called the tip in? You think he got the fucking reward money? Nope. How in the hell was it $80,000? That's crazy. That's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
80,000.
Well, CJ, I'm going to sign off of here.
Convict love story. Yeah. Well, thanks for hopping up. I appreciate it. Yeah, we
No
got
problem.
We got a couple more parents interviews and then we'll be done for the evening. Thanks for hanging out.
You have a good night. Oh,
Well,
you're
you too.
welcome.
Thank you. I'll have tomorrow night off, be doing some work or be getting ready. That I just put up there. It's going to be my first episode of the series called Unexplored, Lost, and Unsolved. And I'll be doing it every Friday early afternoon around 2 o'clock Central. So join me at 2 o'clock Central this Friday, and I'll be covering the case of Lauren Ashley Wilhoit. We'll be having her sister, Michelle, on to talk with us about the case. And I'm going to have the lovely Cassie joining me on panel to be up there with me as well. So thank you to Cassie. I can't wait to have you as a co-host for an afternoon. And I can't wait to talk to Michelle and share the story of her and her loved ones with regards to Lauren. So fingers crossed. I can't wait to sit down and talk with her. I'm going to be talking with her tomorrow night as well. And Cassie, maybe we can have a conversation tomorrow as well at some point. Not only to talk about Friday, also to talk about getting some kind of helping me get some kind of content up there for you that you can put on your channel so we can get your YouTube channel going. And speaking of Cassie, I'm going to go ahead and throw her link up in chat real quick. So if you're not sub, we will be having and honestly, Cassie, since you're going to be helping me on Friday, maybe we can figure out a way to get some of the show on your channel or something. We'll figure something out. Cassie's clips. We'll figure something out. But yeah, let me know if you'll have time tomorrow night where we can sit down and talk a little bit too. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate it, Kib Kitty. Good night. All right. So thank you for the updates on that case. We're going to switch back to Oklahoma here. We're going to get back to a couple of the interviews that we have. And then I'm going to go ahead and end the evening. And then we can... I'm anticipating... I was going to try and do it tonight where we talk half this case, half continue the conversation from Idaho 4. Because I'm telling you, the last few nights that we've done that show, we've had a really great conversations going on. And I definitely want to keep that going, and we didn't even get done with that. So I'm thinking for Thursday, we'll probably do, because I know there's going to be some updates with this case. So I'm thinking we'll go ahead and start off with the updates of this case. Then we'll go ahead and get into the conversation about Idaho 4 and all that stuff. We'll do like a 50-50 kind of episode. All right, so let me get back to this. Now, this is going to be the same family that's had, they're just having different interviews on different stations, but it is going to be the same family. I'm glad we got to watch the video that actually showed all the text messages or the screenshots when it came to Jesse McFadden allegedly texting the victim in the soliciting case the night before the bodies were found. So this is going to be the first interview from this couple. This is from 3 hours ago. Then there's another one from an hour ago. Then there's another one from 38 minutes ago. So I'm just assuming they kind of sat down and talked to all the news stations. So the first one is going to be from News Nation.
Tonight, the heartbreak to questions and
the other
anger.
ones.
For
Thank
the
you,
parents of
everybody, for
Ivy
hanging out
Webster
tonight.
After launching a search for their 14-year-old daughter when she failed when
Good night,
expected,
Crimezilla.
they
Thank
made
you
the
for
awful
hopping in.
discovery no parent ever wants to make. She had been in the company of a convicted pedophile, Jesse McFadden. Why was he out of prison is one of the questions they want answered. And joining me now are Ashley and Justin Webster, the parents of Ivy. First of all, I am so sorry
shit, Ray.
to be talking to you under these
hell.
circumstances. What, if anything, have police told you?
Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy.
Not much.
Yeah, not much. That's been kind of part of the problem through this process is we didn't get much of any information yesterday. I had to drive to the crime scene just to get some kind of word. And even still today, we haven't really heard much of anything, but I know a lot of it has to do with getting a medical examiner to finish their job.
They haven't told you anything about what they think might have happened on the property?
We just know that it happened on the property and when there were several victims, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hold on a second. Let me see that real quick because it almost seems like they were told something. But I mean, if they probably can't say. I mean, let's be real.
On the property and when there were several victims and
On the property?
Okay, he must be waiting. I don't
we
know.
just know that it happened on the property and when there were several victims, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did you
Yeah. I think they're being. I don't think they know anything.
know Jesse McFadden?
Right.
We knew him just because our kids were close. So we would communicate, pick up drop offs, stuff like that, but we weren't like friendly outside of that.
How did he
But we
keep
had
having
met him and
children
Holly
around
many
him?
times.
What the
And
hell?
were you aware that he had a record, that he'd recently been released from prison and had he was a convicted sex
Good
offender?
question. Good question.
We had no idea.
We had no
didn't
idea.
find out until we saw like the Amber Alert with his mugshot.
It's easy, everybody. All you do is go to Google and type in sex offenders near me.
And then our phone started blowing up from Facebook and people just sending us everything that they knew about it.
Wait, so this is a small town. You had no idea this man had been recently released from prison after being convicted of rape and was due in court just yesterday for child pornography? You had no idea.
We moved here 2 years ago, and Tiffany, yes, and our daughter were best friends, and I guess if Holly had to say something knowing that he was, then she should have said something, but we didn't really know anything about this guy.
Kids don't say nothing because they're scared they won't be believed. Or they're threatened from the offender themselves. How do you think these people keep getting away with this shit? Parents, you can't rely on your children to tell you what the fuck is going on. Exactly, honeybee. The world is full of predators. You have to understand that. You have to be conscious of that. And all you literally have to do is type in, just like you type in Burger King near me, you type in sex offenders near me.
Had a read on him that he was a little weird, but we
You
felt
cannot
comfortable,
rely
especially
on your
knowing that
children
several of our daughter's friends would go over
to
there
tell
all
you.
the time and hang out. They would go over there on the weekends. Tiffany would come over here at our house and stay here on the weekends, and it was just back and forth.
Oh
and
my
we never
gosh.
suspected
This
any
is
kind
scary, everybody. The way that I'm finding out today how there's all these fucking children that kept coming over to this house all the fucking time. This wasn't just some slumber party one night. Girl had a bunch of friends over for the first time in forever. It sounds to me like this was a fucking house. I mean, look at the property, everybody. When you go back to the property, it's got 5 fucking ponds. It's got, I mean, the property is humongous. The nature. You could literally be across the fucking property and ain't nobody gonna know what the fuck you're doing. I'm sure the kids loved it out there. Because it was probably, hey, I want to be your best friend. I can't imagine the kind of shit if all these children were going over there as much as they were, and this is what we're finding out. I just hate to think what the hell could have been happening before this crime took place. It makes me wonder why the people invited were the ones that were invited. Was this? I just don't even want to think about it. But damn. To sit here and listen to this crap about all these kids kept going over there all of these times, and he's a registered frickin' SO that's been convicted of R? Right, they're not. We can't rely on our children to tell us. We have to do the homework for them. We have to be the ones that set the hurdles up that they have to jump over. We don't let somebody else set up the hurdles that our children have to jump over. We are the ones that are supposed to put the hurdles up. We are the ones that are supposed to be next to them as they're getting ready to jump over these hurdles to help them through jumping over these frickin' hurdles. Oh, this is making me upset.
Maliciousness.
Right. So this was not the first time that the girls at all had spent time at each other's houses. Not the first time there had been a sleepover. No warning at all that this was somewhat different.
Oh, don't be
Nothing
doing
about
that,
this
Ray.
weekend's plans was a little bit different or off to you.
No.
Nothing.
Jesse usually took Tiffany and her friends to the lake all the time. They've been
kayaking.
they've
right
been
by
to
the
the
Yeah, that
ranch
beautiful
that was
property.
brought up, but they didn't. They said that they never even went to the ranch the other day.
Yeah, they'd go roller skating,
I bet.
camping. They were always doing stuff.
So when was the last time
That
you spoke
property
to
was
Ivy?
beautiful. I'll end the show with a picture of the property.
The last time me and her communicated was Saturday, late at night. Me and her were sending Snapchat pictures to each other.
What was she saying to you in those?
Snapchat.
And then I got a message.
Snapchat.
She was
Who
just
had a
sending me
Snapchat
pictures.
also?
Filters on.
Yeah.
And then I sent her one of her dog, and closer to midnight, she's like, "Mom, you're past your
This is
bedtime.
ridiculous.
You got to go to bed." And then I got a message the next morning, Sunday morning, that was from her phone, but I don't believe it was from her anymore, saying that they were going to McAllister and that she would be home later.
Right.
We think Jesse wrote
That one.
that one,
Why?
and it probably had already happened by that point.
Because the way Ivy is, she's my best friend. And she is constantly, "Mom, I love you. Okay, Mom, we're gonna go to eat. Okay, Mom, we're done eating. We're gonna go do this now." She's very, very, she lets me know everything. And this message was just kind of like, "Hey, we're going to McAllister. I'll see you around 5. And I said, "Okay, well, like, let me know if you can come home soon or earlier. It's a school night." Okay.
Aw.
It
Wait,
was just
let me
different,
know
but
if
I
you
also
can come.
didn't think anything of it because it just kind of sounded like they were in a hurry.
Thank you for watching.
No.
Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation.
No, Jesse, how about I go pick her up because it's a school night? All right, Ray, thanks for hopping in. Appreciate you. All right, we're going to go to the next interview. We're going to hear some more. And I'll end the show with showing you the picture. Beautiful property. I totally understand. If I go back to when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, that property would have been freaking amazing. Not going to lie. Like all that land. Come on now. All right, so this is another one from... Here, let me just go. This is News Nation? Okay, this must have been late. Who? Oh. Kelt. It's Cuomo.
Hey, I'm Chris Cuomo. It's Tuesday.
I'm sorry. Maybe Tucker Carlson will come to News Nation and then I can just play Tucker Carlson clips because I really enjoy Tucker Carlson.
And as you see, we are live with breaking news, so let's get after it. Last
Yeah,
night,
he's been
you
up to the
remember, we
minute
broke
from the
news that
start.
7 bodies were found in this small rural town in Oklahoma called
He's been on it
Henryetta.
from the start.
It is an odd,
What's up, Cassie?
mysterious situation that starts with why identification is taking so long. They still don't know the identity of everybody there, but it seems presumed to understand the situation now. We know the identities of the bodies of 2 of them, and they were teenagers that had gone missing recently. They were found at the Oklahoma residence of a man authorities were seeking in the teen's disappearance. He is a known registered sex offender. So was this a murder-suicide? Was it random? Was it based on a point of stress? Because the man's body was also found along with his wife and 3 stepchildren, in addition to these 2 other teens. Now, one of them was 14-year-old Ivy Webster. On Saturday, she joined her friends Brittany Brewer and Tiffany Guess for an outing to the mall and then a sleepover at Tiffany's house. Tiffany is one of the stepdaughters of the suspected killer. Sunday comes, Ivy's supposed to come home at 5, doesn't. A search goes out for her and another missing teen. Joining us now are Ivy's parents, Ashley and Justin Webster. I'm very sorry to meet you under these circumstances. Thank you very much. How are you taking this news?
That's a dumb
Not very well.
question.
It's unimaginable. I can't wish
That's
it on
a
anybody.
dumb fucking
No,
question.
God forbid. It's bad enough that you're going to have to deal with it. Let me ask you first,
What
matters
the
most?
fuck?
Tell me about your daughter.
Tell
me what you want.
It's bad enough you're gonna have to deal with it. I'm sorry, dude. What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Was the most caring person I've ever known.
She was a people person.
What a dude, you couldn't sound more insensitive. I'm sorry. It's bad enough you have to deal with it. How are you taking I mean, dude.
She was beautiful inside and out.
But it seems
How in the hell did he get on News Nation? Sorry, I accidentally bumped it. Here we go.
She was beautiful inside. She was the most caring person I've ever known.
She was a people person. She tried to make everybody happy. She wouldn't even hurt a fly.
Right, Kel?
She really did light up a room. I know that's cliche, but she was genuinely just a good person.
My
God
lord.
got an angel yesterday.
There's better icebreakers.
Her only
than that.
daughter. She was just amazing.
Have the authorities given you any idea of what they think happened?
We haven't received much information.
Yeah, we haven't been receiving much information at all. There was a couple times yesterday where, because I was contacting Okmulgee Sheriff's Office for information, they kept telling me they were going to give me a call back and never did. So I drove to the crime scene and I tried to start digging myself and asking several officers of what was going on. And finally, the chief of police from Okmulgee brought me to the side and was talking to me and telling me he couldn't give much information at the time. But I was also very grateful going down there when I did, because that was the exact moment that they found the truck in the adjacent property.
You knew the man suspected of taking your daughter's life and the vehicle were found, McFadden. How did you know him, and did you know that he was a registered sex offender?
So we knew him because he was the stepfather to the kids. We had no idea about his past at all. Besides
our kids with their kids. We've lived in Oklahoma 2 years, and from the first day our kids got on the school bus with their kids, they were friends. I think it was
Ivy
the first
and
week
Tiffany,
we were in
yeah,
our house.
inseparable.
We're inseparable. Tiffany, it was either Tiff coming over to our house to stay at our house, or Ivy going over to their house to stay at their house. And we knew nothing. We met Jesse just kind of as dropping off the kids and picking up the kids and vice versa. And he would come maybe in the house every once in a while and talk as he's dropping off the kids. And
done stuff like this before many times.
For
Going
2
to
years
the
straight.
lake and hanging out. Our son was best friends with Michael, Jesse's stepson, and he had been over to their house many times, and Michael's been to our house as well many times.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com.
they let him out of prison. How? Oklahoma failed.
I just wanted to let everybody know I'm getting a child abduction Amber Alert coming across my phone. License plate number TUN 805 2003 Ford Taurus. And this is Indianapolis, Indiana.
To protect families. And because of that, my children and my daughter and my grandchildren are gone. He stayed to himself unless it involved Holly and the kids, and then he was very controlling. I lost my daughter and my grandchildren, and I'm never going to get to see them. I'm never going to get to hold them, and it's killing me.
I want any second that I could save to save some other children, to make a change, is what I want to do. And if I can tell Ivy's story and tell our story and get our government officials and everybody to start speaking out loud and keeping these pedophiles in jail, the sexual registry does not work. There needs to be repercussions, and somebody needs to be held accountable. They let a monster out. They did this.
Oh, okay. That was just a picture. I was like, what the heck is going on here? Just ended awkwardly. All right. So this is a document I want to share with everybody here. I got to get that Amber Alert. This is a document I wanted to share with anybody. This is the best that I can zoom it. Here, let me actually go full screen here. Exactly. You can't go from apples and then go to oranges from rehabilitation. I want to thank SRB for this. Here, let me make sure that Amber Alert's up. 1 second. That just came through. All right. So this is Jesse McFadden's record. Thank you, SRB, for this. So go ahead and take a screenshot if you'd like. I can send the document as well. Just let me know. Thank you again, SRB. Whoops. So we're going to scroll down a little bit here. So this is 2008, bogus check, 2017, sexual conduct with minor by use of technology, marriage license in 2022, larceny in 2003 in Pittsburgh. So this is all in Pittsburgh. First degree by force and fear. Possession of alcohol by underage person while he was of age. Or he was... So he was 21? Under 21 then. It's all in different orders here. Driving while suspended, and speeding. Thank you for that. Yeah, there's a public record. You actually have to search it. Let me see here. My chat went away. All right, so this is the property right here, you know, and it goes even more to the right, even more to the south, and even more to the left. Like, it's bigger than that. You can't tell me. And the main residence is the far left. The main residence. You can't tell me as a 14, 15, 16-year-old you wouldn't enjoy it out on that property. That property is amazing. I mean, look at all them ponds. That's just a zoomed out picture. I mean, it looks like there's like a miniature golf course there too. I mean, the amazing property. It just makes you wonder. All right, everybody. Well, we did get through all these interviews. Let me see what we got. We got a couple minutes left. I am going to play one more video. Now, this has to do with it's one of the examiners here. Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. Now, I'm going to end it with this video. Then I'm going to close out. Like I said, hit that link, get the notification ready for Friday. Come join me and hang out. We're going to be sitting down having our first episode, and Cassie is going to be joining us. I can't wait for that. All right, so this is Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation speaks out after they were found. Now, this is from yesterday or last evening, and it's from a local news station. And let me see here, 1 second. I'm not sure what his name is, so I apologize, but let me share this real quick, and we'll hear what he has to say, and then I'm going to go ahead and end it, and I'll see you back on Thursday.
Here at the scene.
And can you confirm what ages these bodies are?
No, I cannot confirm the ages. Again, that's really the medical examiner's responsibility to confirm the identity and things such as that.
Are you able to tell us the condition the bodies are in?
No, again, that's the medical examiner. They determine, cause and manner of death. So the conditions is something that's under their investigation.
Can you tell us if a weapon?
Excuse me?
What can you tell us about what happened?
Can't tell you much about what happened. Everything is still a very fluid investigation at this time.
Can you tell us if a weapon was recovered from the property?
Again, that's part of the investigation that's still ongoing, and that's not going to be discussed right now.
Do any of these victims have any connection to McFadden, the suspect?
Don't know. There's lots of assumptions, but I couldn't say that because, again, the identification has to come from the medical examiner.
Is there anybody you're looking for?
No, there are no suspects at large right now.
Can you say where you found the bodies? Were they in the house or on the land?
They were on the property, on the land.
What are you guys going to be doing now?
What
would your people be doing here now?
Well, there's people recovering information, as far as evidence goes, and just the course of the investigation. Because again, this is a very fluid investigation going on. So it's just what's going on right now.
Was there a note or anything left behind?
I don't know anything about a note.
McFadden?
Don't know anything like that.
Could you be more detailed about exactly where on the land they were found?
Just on the property, just not in the residence, but just on the property. But that's about as detailed as we can get right now.
Is there any other information you can relay?
Not really, because one, we're not going to say anything. It's going to jeopardize any investigation, and we're just it's going to be very vague on some things, and that's just the nature of what's going on right now.
Have you guys been in communication with loved ones?
They have been.
Can you say how long the bodies were there?
No, I cannot say how long they've been there.
Is the suspect one of the bodies?
I can't say that either. Again, that's the medical examiner's responsibility to identify them.
Is this considered a homicide investigation?
It would be considered a homicide, yes.
Are you able to talk about the search and how you guys ended up at this property?
Well, no, on the Violent Crimes Task Force, or how?
Just what led your task force to get here to this property to find our victims?
I don't know. I'd have to get the information I had on that. What led them to believe that?
Is this being investigated as a murder-suicide?
I can't comment on that. I don't know. There's 7 individuals who are deceased, and again, the manner and cause of death is up to the medical examiner to decide that.
Can you kind of recap what these two did over the weekend and kind of just their activities and how they ended up with McFadden?
No, I can't comment on that. The source of that information would be whoever the agency that submitted the information on the Amber report that went out by the Highway Patrol. They're the ones who have to vet out, missing kids and stuff and decide, do they meet the criteria? So that really be a question for that agency.
What's OSBI's role in this?
The OSBI's role is simply to assist in the investigation. We have agents out here that do interviews, and also we have agents here that do crime scene investigations. So that's the two major roles that the OSBI conducts.
What's up, Josie?
And who would be interviewed in a situation like this?
We don't comment on who we're interviewing.
Can you just speak to the nature of this case and this possible crime? I mean, this is a very heavy situation.
Well, as far as the nature of the case, there's 7 individuals who died here on this property, and that's the nature of the case, to investigate, what happened and, try to identify any perpetrator and just do that. I mean, that's with any investigation such as this.
How would you describe your feelings right now, or even OSBI's, with how grave this all is?
Well, anytime someone loses their life, that's a serious situation. So that's about the best way to describe anybody's role in anything, is to say that, it's something where somebody has lost a life.
Has McFadden had any criminal history, or has OSBI been aware of him before?
I couldn't comment on that. I don't know.
Will you be investigating if there was anything leading up to this, if there were any warning signs with McFadden?
Well, no, as far as warning signs, don't know about that. We'll just they'll be looking into every aspect of the investigation that's pertinent to the crime and everything. But as far as the tactics or strategy, couldn't comment on that.
Do we know when more details will be released about the victims?
Well, again, the biggest thing on the victims is, I think what you guys are interested in are the identities, ages, things like that. So really that information truly comes from the medical examiner.
Okay. Well,
will he be speaking to us at any point?
I have no idea. You'd have to contact the medical examiner on that one.
It's just a little unusual to have this many deceased. And we know McFadden and the 2 teens, but we don't know who the others are in relation to them.
Okay. Well, as far as the relation, I mean, there's a relationship somehow, but as far as discussing who is what relation, that's going to be discussed right this moment.
Will you be coming forward with any more information about the condition in which these bodies were found?
Well, again, we talk about the condition of the bodies. That's really the medical examiner and their investigation of the individuals.
A minute ago, you used the word perpetrator, but just to be clear, there's no one else being looked for at this point. There's nothing outside this land right here that's you're not looking for someone.
Well, okay, I said perpetrator. Maybe I just need to stand corrected on that. Perpetrator, because there's still evidence being processed. So if it leads to anyone else, of course, those will be followed up on. So, not to say there's any more people involved, but just so to answer your question, I'll say perpetrator or perpetrators.
I just want to be clear. There's no threat to the public. That's what the sheriff had said earlier.
Yeah, there is no threat to the community as we know it at this time.
You're
What do you
awesome,
think the
man.
community of Henryetta needs to know most?
Okay, would you repeat that?
What does the community of Henryetta need to know most at this time from law enforcement concerning all of this?
Well, just like I said, there's no suspect at large that we are looking for right at this moment. So that's the most important thing, is that there's no one else out there that we're looking for at this time. So there's no threat to the community.
At this time, do you believe McFadden is the one who killed everyone?
Who did any part of this? That's again subject to the investigation. So we're a ways from having that completed. So there's no way to answer that question right now.
You don't have McFadden in custody, do you?
Excuse me?
Do you have McFadden in custody? Do you have McFadden in custody?
There's been no arrest in anything right now.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anything else you think we should know?
There's nothing that could be talked about at this time.
Thank you.
Really?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Appreciate your cooperation.
All right. That is the OSBI
giving a little bit, but very few details on the investigation. You can imagine the big scene out there that they're trying to process. Let's go ahead and reset now. The Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office said bodies, 7 of them, were found on the property of a convicted rapist.
Now, the mother of Ivy Webster, one of the missing girls, says she was told by law enforcement 5 kids and 2 adults were found dead, as OSBI said, out on the property, not in the home. And 2 of the bodies include her 14-year-old daughter, Ivy, as well as 16-year-old Brittany Brewer. That's according to Ivy's mom.
Yes, this is video from that scene. Webster's mom tells Fox 23 the girls were at the home, again, of convicted rapist Jesse McFadden, having a sleepover with the kids who lived there. McFadden's wife was there too.
We've learned Henryetta High School is holding a vigil for families affected by this tragedy. They want the entire community to come together. That's at 7 o'clock tonight at the high school gym.
What is the case? Whoa. Pause. What a sad case. All right, everybody. I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you so much. Like I said, we'll probably be getting into Idaho 4, splitting it up, coming up on Thursday when I'll be back. Definitely check out what we got coming up for Friday. Be a new series I'm starting. Cassie's going to be joining. Let me get rid of that banner so I can have everything shown right there. We'll be covering that Friday at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock Central. So please join me. If you can't join me, check the replay. If you're not able to check the replay, at least share it. Because you never know. You never know where even just the thumbnail. You never even know where the thumbnail might, reach. You know what I'm saying? Good night. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you have a peaceful and positive evening, not only tonight, but tomorrow night as well, when I don't see you on the show. But I'll be thinking about you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys on Thursday. Thank you, Grizz. I appreciate your support. Thank you again. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this screen up as we exit out. Play a little bit of tunes. Jam out. I just want to say thank you to everybody. I'm going to get rid of this space age funky beat, and I'm going to get that applause up for everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I can't wait to see you guys on Thursday.